Which one would
It's called Industrial Disease.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
not.
I've heard
We're
that.
not playing
It's a
that.
great song.
Here, you hear that? Yeah, we're not playing
We're not
that.
playing.
We're not playing that because Gina runs the show. You know. How about it's Alan, or excuse me, Mark Smith's birthday today.
Who's Mark Smith?
The Fall.
Yeah.
It's Tina Marie's birthday.
Lover Girl?
Yeah.
Oh, we could have thrown that on.
Nah, probably not.
I don't know. Do we have it?
Andy Gibbs' birthday.
I lobbied hard for shadow dancing.
It was
Carrie just dismissed me out of hand.
It was discussed.
And how about this? It is famed producer Nicholas Lowney's birthday today. Produced the Yeah Yeah Yeahs,
Oh,
Arcade Fire,
see,
Kate Bush, and Talking Heads.
we could have done any of those.
And so
But no.
I'm at a loss as to why.
Well, why would you be at a loss? Because
I don't know. I see nothing on my
Carrie,
extensive lists.
Because on this day,
Yes.
in 1948, Eddie Grant was born.
I didn't. It's not on my list, or I skipped it.
Woo!
Tina Marie.
I thought you were going for shadow dancing. No, you went for Tina.
I guess on second thought, maybe not so much this.
I have a member of my family who worked for Andy Gibb
Oh yeah.
and tells stories about Robert. He worked for the producer.
Stigwood.
Stigwood. He worked
Yeah.
for Stigwood, and
What kind of stories?
any kind of story you want, he will tell
Like
about
positive
Stigwood.
stories or
Positive, negative. It was the high point of his life. So Uncle James worked for Stigwood for many years.
I kind of have a thing for Andy Gibb.
Really?
Yeah.
He'll tell you. You should just go sit with Uncle James. He'll tell you stories about Stigwood.
For so long,
I kind of do.
Yeah. You wouldn't after you sat with Uncle James for a few minutes. I mean, Uncle James loves Andy Gibb and Stigwood.
I have a vinyl.
You just get hearing over and over again.
I have a vinyl copy of Shadow Dancing on my desk that a friend of mine cut out Joe's head and put it on Andy Gibb's body. It's on my desk right now.
People think you're psycho.
Yeah. Well,
We have more than one Andy Gibb in there?
Just those two. I have plenty of Andy Gibson, though.
I don't even know who that is.
who's Andy Gibson?
No idea. He sings a lot of Christmas songs, it looks like.
Oh. It was Andy Gibbs' alter ego he did for Christmas songs.
I was chasing your direction. I was telling you no lies, and I was loving you. When the words are said.
Okay,
It's
that's
that,
enough.
it's that Australian accent. Doesn't that,
that what
get,
it
is?
doesn't that get you?
No.
He died, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's very dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep. Most of them are dead.
Yeah, I think Barry's the only one that's alive.
Is Morris gone now?
Yes.
They're all gone but Jesus.
They're all gone but Jesus.
Morris, well, yeah, he's gone.
I think they're all gone.
All right, well, let's get the show on the road, shall we?
I suppose.
As they say, because it may be on the road sooner than you think. Let's have your check-ins. That'll let us know if you're still with us in these latter days. If you still want us to produce a show, if you want us to do the show here, it's just sort of tantalizingly out of reach, 1-877-602-9696. That's the number to call. You check in with us. That shows that you still support us, even though others may not. 877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show. It gives us an indication that you're still there, you're still with us, and you want us to do a show here in this month of March, of which there are very few days remaining.
Well, it's only the 5th. What do you mean?
I know, but count up.
It's barely March.
How many working days are there left in this month? Not many. And I'm taking 2 of them off. 877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show and use 3 words or less to tell us. Give us an idea of something new we can do on the show. Tell us something you'd like to see us do or stop doing. Do or stop doing on the Radio from Hell show. Use your creativity. Help us. Help us. Please help us. Throw us a lifeline. Give us a break here, will you? 877-602-9696. What would you like to see us do or not do on the Radio from Hell show? Call us and check in if you would, please.
All right. Let's get going then. Hoops Vision Correction, HOOPES Vision.com.
I know one thing that you should do is call Hoops Vision if you're considering
Yes.
getting rid of your glasses or contact lenses with a LASIK procedure. Now, you'll hear and read about other places that do that procedure. But you can, Carrie, you know me. We don't lie to you. We have had this done at Hoops. And
Well, I mean, and you have had it done other places.
I did once. The very first time I had it done
So-
another place, and it was okay. But then Hoops fixed it.
They come along and they went,
Yeah, here's the way to do it better, and they did. Hoops Vision has the most experienced surgeons, and they have the most successful technologies. They really do distinguish themselves in the screening, the testing. So call and make your no obligation and free appointment. They'll check your eyes out. They'll make sure that you're a good candidate, and then they'll talk to you about the procedure. So call them, 877-30-LASIK, or go to hoopsvision.com, HOOPES vision.com. Make sure you tell them that we sent you that direction. Schedule today, 877-30-LASIK.
Every week.
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred here to see Mr. Acme?
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred. And this is regarding,
Well, we work for Mr. Acme, and he wanted to see us today.
I see. And you work for him in which one of his businesses?
Radio. You know, we do a morning radio show at his radio station.
Oh, yes. Mr. Acme is involved with some little broadcast facility somewhere, isn't he? Let me call him. He's having his daily rub-down right now. Mr. Acme?
What the hell do you want? You know I don't like to be disturbed when Gregor is giving me my rub-down. Ouch! Damn it! I told you that my coccyx is sore, Gregor! I'm calling the doctor. Don't rub me so hard there! Jesus. Now what the hell do you want?
I'm sorry, Mr. Acme, but there are two radio people out here to see you. What were your names again?
Carrie and Bill. Bill?
Is that Allred and Jackson out there? God, I forgot. It's salary time again. Okay, tell them to have a seat. We're just about finished here. Damn it, Gregor! Don't push so hard on that! Oh, I'm sore everywhere that my belt rubs.
Have a seat, gentlemen. Mr. Acme will be right with you.
Oh, great. Acme's got some sore muscles, and we're here to talk about raises. What great timing.
Oh, he's always in a bad mood or sore or something anyway. I don't see where one day is any better than another when it comes to talking about money. For hell's sakes, Gary. I mean, last year during our job evaluation meeting, he jumped across the restaurant table and jabbed the dinner fork into my upper thigh. I bled like a pig.
I remember. He must have stuck that thing in about 3 inches.
Yeah, thanks for closing me up. I don't know if I've ever told you enough how grateful I was.
Oh, don't worry about it. It was nothing. I was just glad I had that little staple gun in my backpack.
I'm nervous. I mean, I'm just not very good at this asking for a raise thing.
Remember, we got to be tough. We got to stand our ground. I mean, sure, we're asking for a lot, but we work hard at the radio station. I don't think that 15 every 2 weeks is too much to ask.
But Carrie, 15 every 2 weeks adds up to $30 a month. I'm telling you, it's too much. He'll never go for it.
I think you're right. We got to get out of here. Oh, okay. Here's what we do.
What?
I'll pretend that I'm sick, and then you pretend to rush me to the hospital, okay?
Okay.
Oh.
Ma'am? Will you tell Mr. Acme we'll be back some other time? I've got to rush my partner to the hospital. I think it's his ovaries or something. His uvula or something. You're going to be okay, partner.
"19 minutes after 6.
So is it time to officially begin the show?
It is time.
All right.
And it's brought to you by Start Small, Save Big. Open a 60-month certificate of deposit at Cyprus Credit Union. Receive 3.65% APY. With rates this great, there's never been a better time to start saving. So stop by or visit cypruscu.com.
The moon is just a itty bitty 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 little crescent moon, 1.2% of it showing, and it will rise today at 6:46 a.m. Today being Tuesday, the 5th day of March in the year of our Lord 2019. And this is the Radio from Hell show. As we used to say, it's the show for people who feel like hell in the morning. When people would ask us, why do you call it the Radio from Hell show? We'd say, oh, it's the show for people who feel like hell in the morning. That's
I feel
why.
like hell.
Yeah.
How about you?
And then I can tell you do too, Gina. You have kind of a when you're not talking on the radio and the mics are off, you have kind of a sour look on your face.
I'm sorry.
You know, I mean, not just like you're.
Yeah, would it kill you to smile more? Really?
No, I mean just kind of like you're sort of discomfited.
Yes.
Or sometimes we would say it's the Radio from Hell show, or otherwise known as There They Are, Get 'Em. But maybe we should change it. You know, it's the Radio from Hell show, or otherwise known as I wonder whatever happened to those guys.
We're right here.
The radio.
We haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah, not yet. So it is the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. The interim producer of the Radio from Hell show is Katie for short. And let's see, that's, what's his name?
Parker.
Parker Hannafin
Now,
is helping.
Somebody asked yesterday, Parker was supposed to write us a jingle, remember?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. He likes to write jingles in his room.
Mm-hmm.
Write music is he.
Music. And
Now, I can't remember what jingle for what, but Parker, have you done that yet?
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yep.
Well, by the end of the week, Parker.
We want a jingle.
A jingle of some sort written in your room. So Parker's helping out today doing video. You can see us at x96.com/live. Now we get to your check-ins at 877-602-9696, and we need you to help us out. I'm getting tired of all the same old stuff we do on the show. So
you want new stuff?
Yeah, 3 words or less.
All right.
What should we do new, or what should we get rid of? Just give us a little bit of advice, okay? There's one line open, 877-602-9696.
All right, let's go to Blake.
Hi, Blake. Blake?
Can Blake hear us?
Blake?
Yeah,
Blake, are you there? Blake?
I don't think Blake's.
Oh,
Blake
Blake.
has just given up, I think.
All right.
All
So
right.
there are 2 lines open. Well, maybe Adam, are you there? Adam?
Morning.
Hi,
Thanks
Adam.
for letting me listen. And
Sure.
Geek Show says, hey.
Hey.
So there are two lines open. Adam can hear us, 877-602-9696. Adam, I know you have a lot of creative ideas. I'm sure you do. What have you?
Mm-hmm. Yelling by Bill.
More or less?
More. And here's the thing. Okay, so for a $20 road home donation,
Uh-huh.
Bill will call anyone you ask and yell at him for 30 seconds.
Not a bad idea.
About whatever you want.
Yes, and for $50, he'll do a minute.
Ooh,
Wow.
Well, I think we should just go ahead and do it $1 a second.
$1 a holler?
Yeah.
I thought about that too. Yeah.
30 seconds, $30. $60, 60 seconds.
Yeah, that's
$1 a second.
$1 a second. That's a. You don't realize though what a lot of work that is. For me to yell for 60, I can do it in short spurts.
How about desk pounding? Can I get an upgrade of a desk pound?
That just comes free. I just I just do that. All right. That's
For
good.
$100, Bill will quit your job for you.
Wow.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
That's tempting.
I like Adam. This is a brilliant idea. I'm going to write that
There you
down.
go.
Actually,
All
that's
right.
a good idea.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Adam.
Thanks. Have a good day.
We'll see, Adam. All right, let's go to Blake. Blake is back.
Hi, Blake.
Hello, is it working now?
Yes.
There we go. How about a nudist radio show?
We are right now.
We're
Sure.
already
It's
doing
happening
that.
right now.
We do that
I
several
better get
mornings.
on live then.
Several mornings a week. We do that. What-
X96.com/live. It's the internet. We can do what we want.
See, what you see on x96.com/live, we actually just do a rebroadcast of the mornings we're clothed. Like this morning, we're naked,
Yeah.
but what you're seeing is yesterday's show.
Ah, well,
Oh, okay. I thought it was just from the waist down.
sorry
Yeah,
about that.
no. All right, thanks.
Hey,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
So there's two, one sort of good idea and one really good idea.
Well, there's a few text and chat rooms. Let's see. Devin says, insult more listeners.
No, we want them to stick around. We don't want to insult them.
Carrie, the coordinator. Jean's Wall.
Yay! It's my favorite bit we've ever done that nobody
You say
except
that
me and Carrie knows.
you say that about that, and you say that about Chainsaw Guy.
It's the same bit.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
the
it
same.
is.
No, it's
Exact
not really.
same bit.
No, it's not.
It's,
It's similar in a way.
Tyler, the trash man. Snuffy and Guffy ad-libs.
Snuffy and Guffy ad libs.
Do we have one coming up?
you
is
could
there
do
Let's
some-
it
see, light
before-
stream. We can't do that one.
No.
I got Brooklyn, and I could do that.
No. It's got to be one that
we
Bill's
could do.
on.
We could do.
Excel Automotive Repair. Actually, Steve would probably
Steve
like
wouldn't
that.
mind if we did Excel
Okay.
Automotive Repair as Snuffy and Guffy.
All
I'm
right.
sure.
So remind me, coming up.
Okay,
We'll
I'll
do
write
that.
it down here.
Write that down.
So that'll be just before 9 o'clock. If you'd like to hear Snuffy and Guffy doing an ad for Excel Automotive Repair, that'll be coming up. This'll surely put a cap on our career.
It will.
Right here.
Texter, I would like to have 1 or 2 minutes segment of Bill eating on the air.
No, you wouldn't.
Like a scheduled time.
Like a
though.
scheduled time.
This is the time when that happens.
Well, if you provide breakfast, I'll do it.
Space Elder, someone says. Not going to happen.
No.
Name That Tune is my fave, says Stephanie. When Gina plays Name That Tune.
Thanks, Steph.
Let's see.
Where else would I get my lefty politics? Oh, there are Well, there aren't.
No.
really.
No, where?
There
There
isn't.
aren't.
Where?
No,
There's
not
us.
Not any local around here for
And
sure.
and even NPR is a little too even-handed.
Oh no, NPR is so even-handed they're unlistenable these days.
So it's just us.
We don't want to rock the fundraising boat.
Exactly.
We're not going to rock the fundraising boat, so we have to be very careful.
Do we need a fundraising boat? Where can we get a fundraising
We gotta get
boat?
one, you know?
Well, they've all been sunk in the harbor.
It's the SS Cash Cow. Is an anonymous poster in the chat room. Way less politics and maybe other opinions than carries THEN. I'm just a guy who got a diploma from Nebo High. Nebo's not a high school; it's a school district, and it was Spanish Fork High School. Okay.
A Bill Eats Something segment.
Yeah, just where we. That way, people can either tune in specifically to hear it, or they know when it's
Well, we
coming and they
should
can.
make it a contest. We'll have what's that sound, but it's what's
What's that-
what's the sound?
What's that
Bill
snack?
eating? Guess what Bill's eating?
Here we go. Prank call KSL. There you go.
Yeah. No more Gina singing on the air, please. I would go with that.
You can't prank call KSL because they record everything
Yeah.
because they're afraid of people prank calling KSL.
Mm-hmm. All right. Gina, stop singing on the air.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Bill Allred snack time is gaining momentum. Is all I can
And no,
say.
I'm not going to show my boobs on the air.
No.
I'm not.
Gross.
I will not.
All right.
And everybody would know I don't wear a bra.
A man's ear.
That's right.
Traffic is filling in along the I-15 corridor. Northbound is seeing increased volume of cars between Draper and Sandy. And southbound, it's busiest from Layton through Kaysville, but no accidents to report so far unless you want to report something. And it's safe for you to text. You can do that at 33986. When it comes to mortgage lending, call Rick at Vintage Lending. Where else you're going to go? 16 years experience. Call Rick 801-809-SAVE or go to loansbyrick.com.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, we will take a break. We will be back. Big boy news, Opinioendo, all coming up. Full strength, it looks like, news and Opinioendo on the way. I'm going to tell you about Captain Marvel. Saw it yesterday.
You can? You no embargo?
7
You can-
o'clock a.m. That's the embargo. So I'll tell you about it then. Let me speak to the Lieutenant Governor coming up as well.
Yeah, please get some questions ready for the Lieutenant Governor. We're in the last bit of the legislature
It's
here.
only a week left.
Things that you want to talk to him about, questions you want to ask him. If you have, if you want to, as they say, hold his feet to the fire, please feel free to do that. Get some questions ready for the Lieutenant Governor.
All right. All that and more on the way. Stand by for that. Gina, please.
Oh, you want me to tell you about Lightstream?
Lightstream,
This is for
yes.
people that are sick and tired of paying high interest rates on their credit cards. If you want to consolidate multiple credit card payments down to one payment at a lower rate, how much easier would that be? Then Lightstream is the place you need to go. You can refinance your credit card balances with the credit card consolidation loan and get a rate as low as 6.14% APR with AutoPay, and that rate is fixed. It will never go up. And on top of that, 0 fees. You can apply online in minutes. It's so easy you don't even have to leave your house. You can even get your money as soon as the day you apply. Lightstream is rewarding people with good credit at a low rate and an easy process. And if you want to save even more than that, if you're an X96 listener, you can get an additional interest rate discount. And the only way to get that discount is to go to lightstream.com/X96. That's LIGHTSTREAM.com/X96. Subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.50% autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/X96 for more information.
When
Rod Decker, undercover.
Ace reporter Rod Decker goes undercover at the state capitol. What really goes on at the legislature? What are the power brokers up to? Rod knows the legislators put up a facade when they see him coming with a camera crew, and so Decker disguises himself as a schoolgirl on a field trip with Mrs. Spencer's 6th grade class.
Okay, kids, now settle down. Before we get back on the bus and go back to school, I want you to meet Governor Mike Leavitt.
Hi, kids. I hope you've enjoyed your visit to the Capitol today. Very important work takes place here. Do you have any questions? Yes, you, the tow-headed kid with the striped shirt.
What's with the car in the basement? Is that the Employee of the Month's car?
No, that's the Mormon Meteor. It was once the world speed record holder. Okay, You, the boy with the hat on backwards.
How come the Capitol has gold on the top of it? Isn't that a waste of money?
Well, Sonny, that's not gold, it's copper. Like a Duracell battery. And we have time for one more question before I have to get back to running the state. You in the back, the tall, homely girl with the pigtails and glasses.
Tell me, Governor Levitt, will we have to spend tax money on the Olympics? How do you feel about having an official beer of the Olympic Games? What about I-15? Is it on schedule and anywhere near budget? Will tobacco be outlawed in this state?
Hold on here. You ask a lot of questions for a little girl. Say, I know you from somewhere.
I can assure you, sir, that you have never met me before. As you can see, I'm just an average 6th grade girl on a field trip.
You're Rod Decker.
No, my name is LaDonna, and what you're saying is, rather than handle some tough questions from a schoolgirl, you would prefer to make accusations about my true identity.
I knew it. You are Rod Decker. Rod, why didn't you just ask for an interview?
Well, there you have it. Politicians won't even let their guard down in front of innocent children. You can't get a straight answer from them, no matter who you are.
That's tonight on
Rod Decker, Undercover.
On the Channel 2 News at 6 and 10.
All right, 6:35 right now. Anything before we start news?
Anything like?
Anything you want to address before we start? Because we have plenty of time, is what I'm trying to say here. We have full...
Oh, just quickly, before my kids get up. So Muhammad broke his ankle, remember? And he's been in a boot. And the doctor told him he can take his boot off and walk around, and if his foot doesn't hurt, he can leave it off, but if it hurts, he's got to put it back on. Well, it still hurts, but he keeps trying every day to take it off. So he'll wear his boot to school, but then he'll sneak a shoe in his backpack and then change when he gets there. So you know what I did? I hid all of his left shoe. I was sneaky. So today he can't sneak and take his boot off unless he runs around school in a sock.
But he will, though.
Which he will.
I don't think the teacher will let him do that. But hopefully I'm going to trick him into healing. So that's my little thing.
Tricked into healing. You tricked me.
Hid all the left shoes.
Into healing.
But as I stood there last night before I went to bed, and I had to make sure, okay, it is his left foot, right? Because I thought this is going to be bad if I hide all the wrong shoes.
It's wonderful how well you know your children. Which foot is it?
I think it's the left foot. I'm in if I get a phone call in a little while, I did the wrong foot, but I'm fairly certain it's the left foot. It's my left foot.
You gotta look at your kids every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, full strength big boy news opinioendo right now, brought to you by
Woohoo! Lucky's Auto Credit, 77 cents in a job, get you a car. That is awesome. They'll front the tax, title, and license, so that's 77 cents total to drive away today. Apply online at luckysautocredit.com. Woohoo!
Well, I guess everybody knows by now, but the executive producers of the television show Riverdale, they all took the day off to mourn the death of Luke Perry. He had a stroke a couple of days ago, and he did not recover. We're deeply saddened to learn that about the passing of Luke Perry, beloved member of the Riverdale cast. Luke was everything you would hope he would be. He was an incredibly caring, consummate professional with a giant heart and a true friend to all, a father figure and mentor to the show's young cast. He was incredibly generous and infused the set with love and kindness. Our thoughts are with Luke, his family, at this most difficult time. Friends and fans of Perry lamented his passing on Twitter and Instagram, with many of his fellow 90210 cast members remembering him as being a very kind and generous person. In a series of tweets, Emma Caulfield recalled how Perry made her feel at home on the set, adding that in a time where the hashtag #MeToo movement has cast a deserved light on the bad men who have mistreated women in Hollywood and elsewhere, let it be remembered that Luke was a real man. He was kind, supportive, open-hearted, and vulnerable, strong, and fair with the women on the set of 90210.
I never thought much about Luke Perry, but I was reading some of these stories, what Bill's saying yesterday, and Colin Hanks had a story that I liked. He said, I was on a flight, it was a long flight, some international flight, and there were some little kids on the plane, and they were like two brothers that were just fighting the whole plane ride and just kind of being nasty, and the parents were kind of at the end of their rope. And he said this guy got up in first class and walked back in coach, and out of his coat pocket he pulled out some balloons and started making balloon animals, like blew them up and made a balloon, and it stopped the kids from crying. And he said after we got off the plane, he said I didn't see who it was, and after I got off the plane I saw that it was Luke Perry. And
Sideshow Luke Perry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he said I would always like, and he said I told him, I said that was brilliant, and he said I always keep a couple, I fly so much, I always keep a couple balloons in my pocket for just such an occasion.
That's why they call him Sideshow Luke Perry. Professional wrestler King Kong Bundy has died.
No!
At the age of 61. WWE said in a release that it was saddened to learn of Bundy's death, expressing condolences to his family and fans. Promoter and longtime friend David Harrow said Bundy died Monday. Harrow posted on Facebook, "Today we lost a legend and a man I consider family. The cause of death and other details were not disclosed. Bundy, whose real name was Christopher Pallies, was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He was 6'4", 458 pounds.
Whoa.
Made his debut in 1981. Best known for facing Hulk Hogan in 1986 in a steel cage match, WrestleMania 2, which Hogan won. Bundy found himself opposite or alongside many of the other biggest names of the era, including Andre the Giant, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase, DiBiase, and The Undertaker. Bundy also crossed over into pop culture, making appearances on TV shows, including Married with Children, Boy Meets World.
He was a monster, just a big dude.
He was only, what did I say, 61.
Let's see, I hear all those names from that era of wrestling, and I keep wondering, who are the celebrities who are going to be playing those parts in the Hulk Hogan movie?
Yeah.
You know?
Who would play that guy?
I don't know.
The Mountain?
The Mountain? Oh, no, maybe the Mountain should play Andre the Giant.
Oh.
Bountiful police are investigating a report of an attempted abduction. According to a news release, it happened at 3:05 p.m. Monday in the area of 350 West, 2600 South. A junior high age girl says she was approached by an older male as she walked from school to her pickup location. The man indicated he was there to pick her up because her father was unavailable. When the girl didn't cooperate, she said, "Nuh-uh." She says the man grabbed at her and tried to detain her, but some other students came up and said, "What's going on?" and tried to help her, and the man released her and ran away. The suspect was described as a white male, approximately 60 years old, bald with short brownish white stubble on his head, no facial hair, was wearing a torn white T-shirt, jeans, and white shoes. Didn't have a vehicle, at least as far as anyone could see. If you have any information on that, contact the Bountiful Police Department. This is a weird story. I saw it yesterday, and I didn't read the details of it, and then I saw it this morning on a national news feed. A woman was arrested on suspicion of stabbing her mother after confessing to the crime at an Olive Garden here in Utah.
Really?
Jade Lauren
The one night
Altemeyer.
I wasn't there.
Jade Lauren Altemeyer was taken into custody. Now, this says there was blood on her clothes. I maintain it was probably marinara sauce at the Olive Garden. She was arrested at the Olive Garden in American Fork after reportedly saying to... It refers to people at the Olive Garden as diners.
I dine there.
No, you eat at the Olive Garden.
You're an eater.
You eat at the... As I tried to explain to my son one time, he said, I'm going out to dinner. And I said, where are you going? And he said, Red Robin. And I said, no, you're not going out to dinner. You're going out to eat. When you're going out to some place like Olive Garden or Red Robin, and I'm not disparaging those places. That's
Hey,
fine.
I eat there all the time.
You're going out to eat. When you go out to a finer restaurant,
That's
then
when you
you're going
dine?
out to dinner. But if you're going out to Olive Garden, you're just going out to eat. So anyway, she went to the Olive Garden to eat, and apparently she said to her fellow eaters, hey, guess what? I just stabbed my mother.
Guess what?
Following the report of the stabbing, so some of her fellow eaters said, I think maybe we're going to call the police. Following the report of the stabbing in nearby Sandy, police found Carla Orsini at an extended stay hotel with multiple stab wounds. A probable cause statement said 3 of those injuries are in locations that are likely to cause death. Orsini, who'd been stabbed in the chest, neck, and finger. So I'm thinking the finger is not one of the...
Survived the finger.
Yeah, the chest and the neck probably. The lip and the left arm probably didn't cause those either. The Sandy Police Department not immediately available, but I guess she's going to survive. The mother's going to survive, but... So
And
it was
she
a
gets all of the breadsticks she can eat.
Huh?
I don't know. It's an Olive Garden thing.
The mother wasn't there. It was the daughter who was there.
I still bet Olive Garden gives her all the breadsticks.
Okay. And then in other news, let's see. Now you've made me lose my place.
How did I make you lose your place?
I don't know. You did. Where am I?
You went over there.
I haven't moved from this seat. I have remained seated. Oh, by the way.
Yes?
There's a new episode of Remain Seated podcast. You know what we talk about?
What?
Books.
Books?
Oh, I'm going to have to listen to that.
Books without pictures?
Books.
I'll bet that's an education.
It is.
You know, all my news has... It's disappeared.
We've come up with a new name for Festus on the...
A new name?
Yeah, because we're talking about us being smart.
Is it Book Boy?
No, it's Profestus.
Profestus.
Because, you know, like he's
So whenever he brings something...
Because he's a professor, you know, like professor.
That,
yeah. He's
that he wants to teach you about, he's Profestus.
So is that your idea of that was a sort of a clever name that you came up
I
with?
thought he came up with it. I thought it was...
Well,
Did you find your news?
no.
It has just disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, I can just sort of do things here.
You could just sort of
yeah,
do things.
I guess that's what I'll have to do. I had them all lined up, and then now they've disappeared.
Because, see, I bring up... Breadsticks are very distracting. Warm breadsticks.
No, don't do that.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, please.
So Utah has the... Okay, I'll just go into the other room with you.
Well, we were wasting time for you.
We were killing time waiting for you.
Well, I was going to do a serious story, and that's
Go
not
ahead.
really... No, I'll do something. Here, I've got a file that says, now that's fun.
Now that's fun.
Let's do that. Now, this is apparently something that's I'm not familiar with this. Are you familiar with Lil Bub?
Lil Bub?
The cat? Lil Bub? Do we have a picture of Lil Bub that we can put up in there?
Find me a picture. Get me a picture of Lil Bub there. Parker! Give me a
Daria-
picture of Lil Bub.
Lil Bub has been around for a while, apparently.
I don't know Lil Bub.
Apparently, he's been around for a long time. Lil Bub is a kitten-sized cat with 2 million Instagram followers, a talk show, a stage production, an album, and a book. New study reveals the weird DNA behind what is often described as Lil Bub's magical appeal. We can definitely say Lil Bub is magical, said David Lupinias, who lives in Berlin and who like his colleagues, has never actually met Lil Bub in person. I remember the moment when we first saw Lil Bub on Skype, and we were just like, what's going on here?
Lil Bub has like...
Now, when you look at Lil Bub's face, Lil Bub is really, really cute. Now, when you see Lil Bub kind of walking around and stuff, Lil Bub has some obvious physical problems, but she is a charming little cat.
She's got like bug eyes, and her tongue hangs out of her mouth.
And her tongue hangs out of her mouth constantly.
Yes, I am familiar with Lil Bub.
Lil Bub has physical problems. She was born with physical deformities.
Yes.
And she is a charming little cat, but when you see her walking, she has like dozens of too many toes, and her feet are deformed.
If you go to x96.com/live, you can see
Lil Bub. That's not one of the best pictures of Lil Bub.
But you get it.
Her eyes are constantly bugged like that. Now she has way too many toes, and
can you have too many toes?
Yeah, Gina, you
What's
can.
bad if you have too many toes?
Well, it makes her walk funny. Oh. And Gina, I'm maintaining that if you had 10 toes on each foot, you'd walk even more awkwardly than you do now.
I just think extra things are...
Lil Bub is adorable. I'm more of a Grumpy Cat person myself.
I can't stand to look at Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat is pretty awful. Donald Trump, speaking of Grumpy Cat, there is an editorial that I read this morning that says the President of the United States gave a rambling, incoherent 2-hour speech at CPAC, which we mentioned a bit yesterday. If you haven't seen it, I would advise you to not watch the whole thing, but watch maybe portions of it, maybe watch the beginning of it when he comes out on stage, and watch some portions of it. And if I don't understand if you're a president supporter, a Donald Trump supporter, and you watch that, I'm not quite sure how you can continue.
I don't know.
The editorial that I read this morning says he raved like a lunatic and told crazy, self-serving lies from start to finish, and it's pretty clear that he did. If that no longer qualifies as alarming, we as a country are in serious trouble. And this editorialist, Eugene Robinson, says, I realize that the speed of light news cycle has moved on from this speech.
Yeah.
I realize anything that happened last week has all but faded into the mists of time. But President Trump's unhinged performance on Saturday at the Conservative Political Action Conference is surely worth more than a passing shrug. If you had an uncle or a grandpa who sounded so divorced from reality, you would probably be concerned about that person.
I'm concerned.
So now the president said, I'm totally off script right now, and this is how I got elected, by being off script. True. And if we don't go off script, our country is in big trouble, folks, because we have to get it back. There was anything like a script when he spoke. He tried to talk about the Democratic Party's proposed Green New Deal. When the wind stops blowing, that's the end of your electric. Let's hurry up. Darling, is the wind blowing today? I'd like to watch television, darling.
He doesn't know about batteries.
No, but it's true. Not even remotely true. And he was just getting started, and it goes on from that.
But even more disturbing than that is the room full of people cheering and saying, yes, that's my guy, and what you're saying resonates with me. That's what scares me.
Well, they will say, I guess, well, he was just being overly demonstrative.
But let's not forget that these are the same people who, when Obama gave a long speech, never 2 hours and 20 minutes, but maybe an hour, they accused him of being, he loves the sound of his own voice. He's so stuck on himself because he likes to hear himself speak.
Researchers examined children born in Denmark from 1999 to 2010, a group of over 500,000 children, 657,461. This is a huge study, and it offers more evidence that the vaccine that protects against measles does not increase the risk of autism.
Can we be done with this?
The study conducted by researchers in Denmark, published this week in the Annals of Internal Medicine, examined all children born in Denmark to Danish-born mothers from 1999 to 2010. The study strongly supports that the MMR vaccination, mumps, measles, rubella, does not increase the risk for autism, does not trigger autism in susceptible children, and is not associated with clustering of autism cases after vaccination, the researchers wrote.
Yeah, but they're socialists.
I was going to make that joke when I got to the end of this sentence. Thanks for jumping in. It adds to previous studies through significant additional statistical power, said the socialist researchers. That's how I was going to do it.
Now, see, Gina, you made the comment, can we be done with this? The answer is no, because we are forced to listen to both sides.
There isn't another side.
No.
No, there's always both sides.
No,
we live in the era of Facebook. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Somebody told us yesterday to go listen to Jim Jeffries' bit on...
I sent Jim, I did, and I sent Jim Jeffries, remember the guy that that I've been trying to help him with convincing his wife, I sent him Jim Jeffries' 5-minute comedy bit on getting his kids vaccinated, or his son vaccinated, as it were. And he did, in fact, take his son without it's not his wife, his girlfriend, I guess. They had a child together, the mother. He, without her consent, took his child to get him vaccinated. And it's a pretty funny I'll post a link to it.
Yeah, it's
on
too
Twitter.
long for us to play here, but you should go listen to it.
I've got it right in my email. I'll just put a link to it on Twitter, @RFHBill, as soon as we go to a commercial break.
Oh, well, how about we go sports weather traffic right now, then?
With sold-out shows across the United States, Sebastian Maniscalco makes his way to Utah for a night full of laughter, Friday, March 8th at the Eccles Theater. Tickets at liveattheeccles.com. Want to remind you that Saturday is our first home match for Real Salt Lake this season, and it's Nick Ramondo's farewell tour. He's announced his retirement, but he's playing all season long, so you can go give Nick some love on Saturday. There are still tickets available. You can go to rsl.com or 844-REAL-TICKS is if you want to call and get tickets there. The Jazz lost last night, just barely, but they did lose last night to the Pelicans. They have a chance to make up for that tomorrow because they play them in New Orleans. That's sports. Weather. So today it's going to be warm, windy, and mostly cloudy. Now tonight we're going to get rain. There's a huge rainstorm coming to California. Like I think I heard Santa Barbara, they're doing some evacuations because they're worried about, because that's where all the fires were. And then they're worried about flooding and mudslides and things. Well, that's going to come to us overnight and into tomorrow. Which means lots more snow in the mountains, but it'll be warm enough to be rain down here in the valleys.
Okay.
Traffic, we've got a disabled vehicle, I-15 northbound at 90th South in Sandy. It's slowing down traffic that are heading toward Midvale. Crash southbound I-15 2nd North in Kaysville. Cars are on the right shoulder, adding to delays in that area. If you see something traffic-wise you want to share with everybody and it's safe for you to do so, text it to us, 33986.
All right. We do have Boners Round 1 coming up, and if you have any questions about the Captain Marvel movie, I saw it yesterday. I won't give any spoilers, though.
No, but see, I have questions just about the character in general.
Okay.
Is that all right?
We can do that.
Okay.
Coming up, and round 1 of your boners as well. Stand by. Brooklinen.com, and the promo code that I am about to tell you about. I am officially on record of loving my Brooklinen sheets. And Vicki and Rich, they have stayed in 5-star hotels, and they go, these sheets are incredible. How do we get these sheets at home? We want these at home for us. And they looked into it, found out that most bedding is marked up like 300%. And so they went, there's got to be a better way to get quality 5-star hotel quality sheets at an affordable price and making them easy to attain. And that's when they created Brooklinen, the first DTC bedding company, working directly with the manufacturers and directly with the customers. No middleman, just a great product and service. And my little dog Ripley is sleeping in my Brooklinen sheets right now. They are the best, most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. And now it's time for your upgrade. Brooklinen is giving an exclusive offer just for our listeners. You will get 10% off of your first order and free shipping when you use the promo code Jackson, my last name, at brooklinen.com. They are so confident in their product that all of their sheets, comforters, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get 10% off of your order and free shipping is to use the promo code Jackson, Jackson, at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. The promo code Jackson. These really are the best sheets ever. I forgot how to radio.
Well, I just did it though, so I think we're good.
All right. Sorry, it was stuck in there, left
All
over.
right.
Here we go.
Here at
It's me, your old friend, the bookkeeper. And since this is tax season, I knew you'd be dying to hear another tale from the big ledger. Today's story is about a young working woman who has some rather unusual ideas about filing her taxes. Let's have a listen, shall we?
Come on in, Miss Trixie, isn't it?
Whatever you want it to be, sugar.
I was finalizing your return, and I came across some items which the IRS might have some questions about.
Well, I filled out the forms the best I could. What more do you need to know?
You've listed your occupation here as working girl. Well, we all work. Could you be a little more specific?
Well, I thought it seemed a bit more polite than prostitute.
Yeah.
I suppose you could change it to hooker, streetwalker, hoe, escort, chicken rancher, whichever's more correct.
Chicken rancher?
Well, I'm pretty good at raising cows.
No! I think that escort might not flag it on it. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Now, you've listed $8,000 in advertising expenses. This seems a bit excessive.
Well, in my business, you can't make any money if you don't get noticed. So I got these. 38 double Ds. What do you think?
They are very nice. You could put those away now. But advertising?
Well, they sure stop traffic.
Well, why don't we list them as capital assets? Then you can depreciate them over time.
Okay.
What about this $25,000 for office improvements? Didn't you say you were a prostitute? What office?
Well, I had to have a new lamp post put in. You know, the old one did a lousy job of showing off my new capital assets.
We'll come back to that. $12,000 in office supplies?
Condoms.
Oh, well, that offers all the questions I have. Do you realize, Miss Trixie, that you could increase the amount of your return if you had your pimp set up a 401k plan for you?
Hey, that's a great idea.
There you have it, creeps. Another great tale from our ledger. Our working girl sure seems to know the tricks of the trade. Remember, keep good records, or you'll end up paying the IRS to screw you.
extra sniffy in there, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. All right, we do have boners round 1 coming up. Stand by for that. Let me speak to the Lieutenant Governor.
Yeah, get your questions in for Spencer Cox. You can email them, radiofromhell at x96.com.
Yeah, so get them into us. That way we have them all ready.
We have more pressing matters than that, though.
Carrie went to the movies yesterday.
Know about this Commander Marvel, this General Marvel.
Captain.
Should be higher than that, shouldn't she? She
No.
ever get promoted?
No, she was a captain in the Air Force. That's why she's a captain.
Well, she never gets promoted past captain.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Oh. You can't say that?
I can't say.
So you saw the movie show. This was a critics screening?
Yeah, critics and what's called an influencer screening. Because I'm certainly not a critic.
You're an influencer.
And everybody knows I can't be objective about these Marvel movies.
No.
I grew up reading Marvel comics. I've always loved them. And the fact that I'm getting these movies at all, to me already is 3 stars, you know.
Yeah.
Before you ever see a second of it.
I'm just like, I'm getting this. I'm getting, yeah.
I think it's nice that you do admit that you're not objective about them, and
I really can't be.
And I would never, I never would argue with you about these movies ever. I would just never presume.
Well, and I know that I'm the last person that if you want a real critical read on these Marvel movies, believe me, I'm the last person to be asking because this is my universe. This is where I grew up. This is,
And I don't understand. There's no point in being critical of them either. You know what? I have my quibbles with some of them. But there's no point in voicing that to people who like them.
No.
Who cares?
Well, and that's my new approach with just about any fandom.
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly.
Which you don't get.
Which I don't get. But I can see why it's popular.
Sure.
So why should I be critical of someone who loves Harry Potter? They have something they love.
Let people have them.
They love it. It makes them happy. Why should I crap on that?
Exactly.
So Captain Marvel. The big question that I got before I went is we want to know if there are the scenes at the end of the movie.
Oh, after the
The
credits.
extra credits.
The extra credits. There's one about 2 minutes after the credit starts, and that's a critical one. That's the one you need to stay for.
Okay.
Now, the one at the very end of the credits is not so critical, but it's funny. So
that's worse.
You decide if you got to go to the bathroom. Know that last one is not critical, but it's funny.
Can I back you up a minute?
Sure.
Just not about the movie specifically. Help me know who Captain Marvel is just generally as a character.
Okay.
Because I know I'm not the only person that doesn't know this.
Because her origin has changed at least 3 times now, I'm not going to waste your time with the comic book ones.
Okay.
I will just go on what the movie has for you. Her name is Veers.
Last name?
That's her name.
Just name.
Veers. As we meet her, her name is Veers, and she is a Kree warrior hero fighting for the Kree Empire.
That's from some other
which is out in space.
Okay.
And that's how we meet her.
Okay.
She changes. We find out things about her.
Okay.
She perhaps was not always a Kree warrior.
Okay.
Perhaps she's from Earth.
Oh.
And that is part of her journey, is finding out who she is really. See, for about 6 years, she has been taught that she is this Kree warrior. She has these powers. We don't know how we got these powers, but apparently the Kree can take them away from her if they want.
Okay.
That's what we're told. And she's been training with this group of like, it's like a space army kind of thing. And they work for the Kree Empire.
And we see this in the movie.
And this is in the movie.
Okay.
And then as the story goes along, that's where we start to learn that she may in fact be Carol Danvers. Not Veers.
An Earth woman.
An Earth woman. And that's the whole journey of the story. It's her discovering who she is and her place in the universe, her worth, the whole thing.
And there's probably this, but I don't want to be an Earth woman.
Well, she fights it at first because she's a proud Kree warrior,
Sure,
you know, is what she's been told.
Don't give that up, God.
And then as she gets exploring it. Oh, there's something bigger happening here.
Okay.
All
right.
There are ties to Infinity War, as
Okay.
there should be.
Yeah.
This movie takes place in the 90s.
Before Infinity.
Before Infinity War. So there's a great 90s soundtrack. There's like, Hole and Garbage and all those bands that you know from the 90s. So a great 90s soundtrack. So the question that you will ask yourself when you leave is, okay, now how is this all going to connect to Infinity War? Because they make a direct connection.
Yeah.
And especially to the next movie, they make a direct connection. And so that's the, Sue says I'm giving too much info. Okay. I'll back off a little bit then. And this is the great recommendation here. Sue doesn't give a damn about any of these movies.
And that's why I'm asking.
And
yeah.
she liked it. She
Okay.
says, I like this one.
Okay.
And this is one of those movies where you remember when I left Wonder Woman, I went there. Yeah, that was a pretty good superhero movie. It had everything you wanted.
Yeah.
And it's 3 stars for me, is what I thought, because I thought the ending was kind of weak. But then I saw a little girl in a Wonder Woman costume in the lobby striking poses and stuff, and I realized this movie isn't for me. This is for her.
Yeah.
And this is the same situation that we've got with Captain Marvel. This is a movie that little girls are going to have somebody to look up to.
Now, what do you say to people that say, well, why is this just for girls? You're not saying it's just
I'm
for
not
girls.
saying it's just for girls. I'm saying let the girls have this one, though, Because I can name dozens of heroes with man in their title. Let the girls have this one. And yeah, if your little boy admires Captain Marvel, good for him. But this one is really going to appeal. That doesn't mean that it's exclusionary to us guys. Us hardcore comic book nerds need to drop that at the door, first of all. Because stuff happens in here that you say to yourself, oh, no, that character would never do that.
You're saying don't do that.
Don't do that. Just let the story happen to you, because there's more important things than being canonically correct. There's storytelling. There's, twists in plot lines that surprise you. That's more important than having that character wouldn't do that.
The Hulk would never do that.
Yeah, it would never say that.
What other characters are in it? Or
Let's
does that
see.
give
Or
stuff?
don't
does
give that will give things
that gives
away.
Can I ask you? Let me ask you just
yes.
Is there any reference to Stan Lee in it?
Oh my God! First of all, the beginning.
Don't tell me what it is.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you because it's not a spoiler.
Okay.
But the beginning of Marvel movies, they play their theme music and they have these pages flipping, pages of comic books. It's dun 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 dun. And they have images from their movies and their comics and dialogue from scripts and things like that. They changed it for this one. It's all Stan Lee.
Oh.
Pictures of Stan's cameos, the whole thing.
That's nice.
Good. That's nice.
And then they dedicate it. And he has such a great cameo in this one because it's so inside. I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to spoil the joke, but it's such a great inside joke that Stan Lee fans will go, oh, I get that. I get that.
And then the other thing I want to ask you is,
yes,
do they let you? I'm not clear as to why Marvel Comics is called Marvel Comics, because this is sort of a Marvel character that even Marvel Comics fans don't really know much about.
Well, they do. Marvel Comics fans know a lot about her. She has been around for a very long time, but like I said, she's changed her name. She was Ms. Marvel for a while, and then she's Captain Marvel, and then the Ms. Marvel title has gone to another character. She's been around for a very long time. She is an Avenger.
I mean, Marvel Comics fans, they mostly think about Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, but if she is an Avenger. She was high rank. Captain America has always gone to her for help.
Okay.
So she is a pretty big character. But she's just evolved over the years. She's a character that most people have not heard of. You are correct.
Yeah.
The mainstream audience, even people who just enjoy the Marvel movies, have not heard of her.
I guess that's what I mean. It's like, oh, there's actually a Marvel.
Yeah.
That's why they call it Marvel.
And this character is named Captain Marvel because the big argument with the fanboys is, we have a Captain Marvel. That's Shazam is Captain Marvel. And that's true. That was the character's name. Up until sometime in the 40s or 50s, there was a lawsuit because Shazam was accused of being a ripoff of Superman.
Which he might have been.
Which he may have been. They lost the lawsuit, and somehow the name Captain Marvel was stripped. Nobody claimed it until Marvel Comics, or Timely Comics at the time, came along and went, yeah, we'll take that name.
It's a good name.
That's a good name.
That shouldn't go to waste.
Sure.
So that's how she has become Captain Marvel, and Shazam is just Shazam. Because it's a lawsuit thing.
Well,
but it's great.
I'm taking my kids this weekend.
Your kids are going to love it. It's from me 4 stars to the general public 3 stars. A lot of great action, a lot of great jokes. Samuel Jackson is so painfully Samuel Jackson in this movie. It's hilarious.
And he's young.
And yes, they young him up. You get to see young Samuel Jackson.
Well,
like Pulp Fiction.
Well, they filmed it
Yes.
They filmed it his scenes a long time ago.
Long time ago, and then they just spliced it in.
They were planning.
They knew it was coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Crash southbound I-15 at 200 North in Layton, off to the right shoulder. Crash northbound I-15 5th South in Salt Lake. And that's it. I'm seeing green cameras all up and down I-15. Let me check our message stream quickly. And yeah, even there, nobody has sent us in a text of a concern for traffic. But if you see one, you can send it to us, 33986.
All right.
Boners, round 1 coming up. Here are the candidates. Boner candidate number 1. You have hatred in your heart and you need to forgive. Boner candidate number 2. Now that's detective work at its finest. And boner candidate number 3, the anti-Semitic Animal House.
Oh, okay. All that and more, along with Big Boy News and Opinioendo, coming up. Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Well, listen, Scott Hale, that's Scott Hale. You spell it H-A-L-E, and you call that 264 Hale, H-A-L-E. Scott Hale. Heating and Air, Plumbing, Heating and Air. They're offering an end-of-season furnace tune-up for just $29, right?
I should do that.
Yeah, $29. Get your furnace tuned up right now. Every homeowner appreciates that. It is really, and also a spring mainline cleaning for just $49. I think that is your sewer line, right? The main line.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
out to the street.
Yeah, they use a camera. I'll bet they let you watch.
So I don't want to see. I do.
I want to see what's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Every homeowner appreciates a discount on troubleshooting. Scott Hale will take $100 off a $300 home repair. That includes air conditioning, furnace, plumbing, or drains. Call 264-HALE. That's H-A-L-E to schedule your appointment today. And that's really a good deal. So that's the $29 furnace tune-up or the mainline cleaning for just $49. Again, call Scott. He's got a website too, scotthale.com or 801-264-HALE, Scott Hale.
The date for the radio.
Greetings, children. This is your old friend, the Grave Digger. Today I have a frightening little yarn that has all the ingredients needed to make you shudder. Sex, violence, lawyers, and 3 exploding human heads. This tale is called There She Blows, and we'll take you now to the law offices of Parker, Jameson, and Osborne, attorneys at law.
Mr. Parker?
Mr. Osborne.
Parker, your fly is undone.
Oh? Oh, so it is. I
I was just having sex with my secretary.
But Mr. Parker, that is so wrong. You're a married man.
I'm aware of that, Osborne, and I don't care. As a matter of fact, I'm going back in for seconds.
Parker, your head is getting bigger. It's... Oh, my God. Look at all the blood.
What's all the racket in here?
Parker's head just exploded.
Good Lord, what a mess. Hey, what's Parker clutching in his still twitching hand?
That's the Bonneville specific file. He's been working overtime to make the board of directors look better in court. I believe he just finished it. Jameson, what are you doing?
Erasing Parker's name and putting mine on it. I'll take all the credit now that he's dead.
Now Jameson's head has exploded too. I'd better call for help. But first, I'm going to go through their wallets and steal all the money. They're not going to need it, and no one will ever know.
Those three really know how to get ahead, eh? Their law firm tried to expand too rapidly and suddenly went bust. Well, in case you hadn't figured out the moral of the story, it's... if you're a lawyer and you do something bad, your head will explode. This is the old gravedigger inviting you to join me next time when our story will be called Chop Chop, Who's There? On Tales from the Grave.
All right, 7:22 right now. Time for round one of your boner voting. Presenting to you now 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will consider them. You will decide which one of these 3 is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and get that chance to become boner of the day. See if it wins here. It's got to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. Round 2 at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We take the winner of each round, throw them both into boner fight at 9:20 this morning is when you'll decide boner of the day. So pick your champion for round 1. Here we go. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
Well, you'll see Bill like maybe at the Stabby Smith's or the liquor store. Or the liquor store.
Or maybe I'll be in one of the liquor stores. You know, I found this little secret liquor store.
Where?
Oh, it's just a little tiny one in the heart of downtown.
Really?
Yeah.
In the heart of downtown?
Oh, I love it. It's just a little neighborhood liquor store.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show.
I think you dreamt about a tiny neighborhood liquor store.
It's really cool little place.
Anyway, when you see him there, ask for a hearty handshake. He'll give it to you.
Here's boner candidate number 1. I'll get you that address. You'll like it. You'll never go there. You have hatred in your heart, and you need to forgive. After a long time, youth ministers' recent conviction on corruption of minors and indecent exposure charges, a judge in Uniontown, Pennsylvania, did what the Uniontown Church of Christ's elders refused to do. The judge told Clyde E. Brothers, Jr., stay away from church services. Mr. Brothers, who is 70, served for many years as the volunteer youth minister. Oh, you need a volunteer youth minister. Oh. For the 100-member Uniontown congregation. Since at least the 1980s, he also interacted with hundreds of children as a founding member for Camp Concern. That's what we'll call it. A Bible camp directed and sponsored by members of Churches of Christ. Generations of parents entrusted Mr. Brothers with instilling Christian faith and values in their children. Victims' relatives say his case points to a problem that plagues not just the Roman Catholic Church and the Southern Baptist Convention, both embroiled in major sex abuse scandals, but also the nation's 12,000 autonomous Churches of Christ. It is truly an epidemic, such sickness, said one victim's mother, a former Uniontown church member whose name is being withheld to protect her son's identity. The allegations that Brothers used his volunteer church and camp positions to prey on young boys were traumatic enough. Several current and former Uniontown church church members said. But church leaders' decision to allow Mr. Brothers to keep worshiping with the congregation even after he was found out made it worse. I was told I had hatred in my heart and I needed to forgive him, said member Debbie Williams, a former youth group sponsor who had traveled with Mr. Brothers and church teens to numerous Bible bowls and youth rallies. Another longtime member said her son, now in his 30s, was one of 4 victims who Brothers identified to Pennsylvania State Police. It's almost like Clyde is more important than the victims are, because the church elder said, well, we have to forgive Mr. Brothers and let him keep coming to church. Well, finally, a judge said, no, you don't have to let Mr. Brothers keep coming to church.
He can pray at home.
And the judge finally had to say, the judge had, they filed an injunction, the members of the church, and the judge said, yeah, I am agreeing wholeheartedly with the parents in this case.
Yeah.
Mr. Brothers will stay home. Oh, but you have hatred in your heart and you need to forgive.
Oh, well.
Boner candidate number 1. Here's boner candidate number 2. Well, now that's detective work at its finest. Hackensack, New Jersey. Police in New Jersey say that footprints in the snow led them from a crashed, stolen car to the man suspected of stealing the car. Police Captain Peter Busilio said the 23-year-old suspect was arrested on motor vehicle theft and resisting arrest charges Saturday. The victim told police he left his car running with the keys in the ignition when it was stolen. Shouldn't do that.
You're asking for it to be stolen.
Authorities say the victim got into a company car and pursued the suspect until he crashed and fled on foot. Responding officers tracked down the suspect by simply following his footprints in the snow from the scene of the crash to where the suspect was hole up in his apartment.
It's like Christmas.
Well, now that is detective work at its finest. Boner candidate number 2. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, the anti-Semitic Animal House.
Yeah. All right. Boner candidate number 3 for round 1 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by.
If you're in an accident, the first thing you should do is contact the advocates. Remember, they don't get paid until you do. Go to utahodvocates.com for more information. You deserve an advocate.
Well, with all the celebrity deaths, we've missed one.
What? No, we got King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy and Sideshow Luke Perry.
Yeah, we got him.
But tragedy.
Huh?
And this was yesterday or the day before that I saw it. She was one of a kind. She was an original. She will be missed.
Who dat?
On February 23rd, she passed away at the age of 89. Catherine Hellmond.
Oh, yes. Oh. Yes.
Catherine Hellmond. She was a cast member on Soap.
Mm-hmm.
She was on Who's the Boss, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, she was Angela's mom.
Yeah.
On Who's the Boss.
She was on a lot of television shows in her younger days.
Yeah, she did a lot of TV.
She was on Love Boat.
Period of time.
Bob Newhart Show.
She has a very short part in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
She does.
Where she's I think she's checking Hunter into the convention at the hotel, and her face starts to melt because he's on acid.
Everybody Loves Raymond. She was on that show.
She was on Benson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Benson. That's right.
Yeah,
yeah. She was all over the place. So.
She worked a lot.
Yeah. And also a couple of weeks ago, rocker Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, now is he on your list?
I don't think so. He had a stroke, but the 83-year-old Rock and Roll Hall of Famer is expected to recover.
Well, he has a deal with the devil, clearly.
Yeah.
Well, if only Luke Perry had the deal.
No, he was a nice guy. Jerry Lee Lewis, not a nice guy.
No, never been a nice guy. Nicknamed the Killer, Jerry Lee Lewis, known for his outrageous energy and piano skills on songs like Great Balls of Fire and a whole lot of shaking going on.
And marrying his young cousin.
Marrying his cousin, who was 12 at the time or something like that. And also being the cousin of the famed preacher...
Falwell?
Jerry Falwell. Oh, my Lord, I have sinned against you. He is scheduled to perform at the 50th anniversary of the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival in April, and his publicist says he will be there, and he plans to record a gospel record soon. A hate crimes bill in the Utah Senate has passed and will has passed the Senate, and it would expand the state's hate crimes laws. The Senate voted 19-9 to pass the Senate bill after an emotional debate. This year we had more support than we have ever had, said Senator Daniel Thatcher of West Valley, with the clarifying statement from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and public support from the governor. We have had reached a tipping point where almost 70% of Utahns agree this is a policy we need to move forward with. After years of failing to get anywhere in the Utah State Legislature, Monday's vote is the furthest the bill has ever gotten. The bill still faces one more procedural vote in the Senate, and if it passes there, it goes on to the House for consideration. Senate Bill 103, sponsored by Thatcher, would enhance penalties when people are targeted for a particular category, like race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, disability, or gender identity. It would not enhance the penalty if you are Gail Ruzicka.
She doesn't get her own...
No. It was amended to include a number of other categories, including homelessness, matriculation, service in the military, and law enforcement. Those amendments were included to win over previous opponents of the bill, but the bill was almost amended again by Senator Kirk Cullimore of Sandy, who wanted to add creed and political beliefs to the protected classes.
Like the guy with the MAGA hat that got...
Across the country, we've seen a number of stories lately where somebody may be targeted because of their political beliefs, and he uses that example, where they may be targeted because they're conservative or wearing a MAGA hat, he said. Senators rejected his amendment in a voice vote. Let's see. This is a big story. HIV has been reported cured in a second patient.
Really?
A milestone in the global AIDS epidemic. Scientists have long tried to duplicate the procedure that led to the first long-term remission, which happened 12 years ago. With the so-called London patient, they seem to have succeeded. A colored transmission electron micrograph, that's the description of this picture. For just the second time since the global AIDS epidemic began, a patient appears to have been cured of the infection with HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. It is almost 12 years to the day after the first patient known to be cured, a feat that researchers have long tried and failed to duplicate. The surprise success now confirms that a cure for AIDS infection is possible. It is difficult, though, researchers said. The investigators are going to publish their report today in the journal Nature and to present some of the details at the Conference on Retroviruses and Opportunistic Infections in Seattle. The scientists are describing the use of describing the case, rather, of a long-term remission. They're calling it a cure, but the caveat is that it's just very hard to know how to define that word when there are only 2 known instances of a cure.
Yeah, that would be, wouldn't it?
Both milestones resulted from bone marrow transplants given to infected patients. But the transplants were intended to treat cancer in the patients, not HIV.
Specifically for...
So they were being treated for cancer. They also had HIV.
And this was just something that happened, and they went, oh, hey, look.
They also had HIV.
Wow.
They were being treated for cancer. And
so the point being, if you have AIDS and you don't have cancer, you're not just going to, as AIDS having AIDS, go get
a bone marrow transplant.
No, they're not going to.
Bone marrow transplantation is unlikely to be a realistic treatment option in the near future.
Yeah.
But you know what they can learn from
powerful drugs are available to control HIV. Magic Johnson, how long has he been alive with HIV?
25 years?
More, I think.
Yeah.
He's been alive. So if you've got the money, well, I think even now, people who have HIV, it's no longer a death sentence if you live in if you don't live in a third world country. If you live in Africa,
but most of the
if
people
you live
that
in
have
Africa and you get HIV, you're dead.
Yeah.
But if you live in America, you're probably not.
Hail science!
All right.
Utah has the 5th highest rate of suicide, and there's going to be a panel to talk about that. We'll discuss that more coming up in another news. And Michael Cohen is living it up.
Well, he's going to prison. He's got to have fun before he...
Final days of freedom. He's living the high life in his final days of freedom before heading to prison for 3 years in May. His former attorney, Trump's final attorney, was spied dining at the Cocopato. He seemed totally relaxed, said a spy. You would never know that he had testified a few days earlier. He was sitting in a back room at the center of the restaurant, and was...
He was at dinner.
Well, but, I mean, he was... He was at a big dinner.
Okay, so he was eating.
You know, but he had...
was he like raising beer glasses and going, ah? Was it like, no, he was just having dinner.
Steak? I bet it was steak. I bet he has a lot of steak.
He's going to jail soon. He knows that the food's going to suck. I want to have a good meal.
Well, but it was more like there were people coming and going. The chefs came out to greet him.
He's a celebrity,
Yeah, I mean, he was...
No difference if it was Ben Affleck.
He was...
Ben Affleck's not going to jail.
But there's a difference, because Michael Cohen is a liar, rat, bastard, and Mike. Well, so's Ben Affleck. Now that you mention it.
Point. All right. Weather traffic.
So there's a atmospheric river. Have you heard this term?
Yes.
Atmospheric river.
It's called the jet stream.
But atmospheric river, like of moisture, and it's going through California today, and there's like bad flooding and stuff happening there, and it's coming our way.
Okay.
Tonight into tomorrow, we're not going to have flooding and stuff, but we'll have rain tonight into tomorrow. It'll be warm and cloudy today, 54 for a high. Traffic, we've got a crash, I-215 westbound approaching 20th East, exit in Holiday. The left lane and the shoulder are blocked. Crash northbound Foothill Drive at Parley's Way, left lane affected there. And lots of slowage. Folks leaving Stansbury Park this morning. SR 36 heading north toward I-80. There's lots of traffic there. Doesn't appear to be an accident, just maybe a little busier than usual. Celebrate spring with a big hail, yes. Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating, and Air cleans mainline pipes for $49, including camera inspection, or take $100 off a $300 repair. Call 264-HAIL.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 3, the anti-Semitic Animal House. A group of high school students in California turned a Newport Beach residence into the anti-Semitic Animal House, adorning it with a giant swastika made out of red Solo cups, which they toasted over and used to play drinking games. Photos posted on social media also showed the students throwing up Nazi salutes as they partied inside the home this weekend. Ultimate rage, a message reads on one of the pictures, which surfaced on Sunday. School officials have reportedly launched an investigation into the images. The photos show students or recent graduates of Newport Harbor High School drinking together, partying at an off-campus location. I'd like to see some genuine remorse from the perpetrators here, said Newport School Board President Charlene Matoyer. We're not only concerned by the underage drinking, but also the mental health of these students who participated in this horrendous act, and all of their fellow students who will be affected by it. This is appalling to not just our Jewish student community, but to all of us who care about human rights. Matoyer hopes that the students involved will ultimately learn about what these symbols mean and how devastating it is to see it occurring in 2019. We obviously need to do a better job of providing education and awareness, she said. District officials told reporters on Monday that they will continue to gather information in the coming days. We remain focused on educating students on all aspects of life's challenges, said a district spokeswoman. So apparently these kids, and they say that they talk to other students at the school and they say, we're not surprised by this. There are swastikas carved in wood.
Really?
In wood panels in the restrooms. Swastikas are a fact of life with some students here at.
Where are the parents?
At this school.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Boner candidate number 3, the anti-Semitic Animal House.
Just giving up on the human race. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, you have hatred in your heart and you need to forgive. Elders at a Pennsylvania church let a confessed abuser at the church continue to attend services. They said, oh, well, we're keeping an eye on him. We're not letting him around the children. We're not letting him get near the children, even though he was convicted of abusing a bunch of children at the church. Well, a judge said, no, he can't go to church anymore. Boner candidate number 2, now that's detective work. They just followed the detectives. I mean, they did the right thing. They followed the footprints in the snow from the crashed stolen vehicle, and they found the perpetrator. And boner candidate number 3, the anti-Semitic Animal House.
All right, let's go. Don't forget, let me speak to the Lieutenant Governor coming up here in a moment. But let's get this boner round 1 voting taken care of. All right. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it's got to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. Round 2 happens at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We take the winner of each round and put them into Boner Dome at 9:20. That's when you'll actually decide boner of the day. So pick your champion for round 1 right now. Here we go. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number. Put that number, the one that you think should win, into the message of a text. So all we need is that single digit in that message. Computer counts it that way. And text that to 33986. You can call 877-602-9696 or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting March 5.
Start your
while many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we find our beloved missionaries knocking on the door of a sand crawler on Tatooine.
Man, this thing is huge. Who ever heard of a camper being 100 feet long and nearly 60 feet tall?
Well, it's not really a camper. It's more like a mobile home. An entire tribe of Jawas call this sandcrawler their home.
Well, I guess we better introduce ourselves before they decide to move on.
Hi there. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen. Hi. We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
And we was wondering if you had heard of our church and if you'd like to know more about it.
Lehigh, I think my universal translator in my name badge is broken. Could you tell me what the little guy said?
Well, I didn't understand him either. Oh no, our translators must not be programmed for Jawa. Now we'll never be able to bring them our message of salvation.
Excuse me, sir. Perhaps I can be of some assistance.
And I suppose that you speak Jawa.
I am a protocol droid, programmed in over 3 million forms of communication.
And I suppose that one of those over 3 million forms of communication is Jawa?
Oh, Jawa's like a second language to me. You be quiet, R2. I do speak Jawa like a native.
Well, then, if you wouldn't mind, could you tell us what they're saying? Talk to them.
Utna Bak Chala Elders? He says that they want your hyperbikes.
Well, you tell him that we need them to do our missionary work and that we would really need to be going soon, too.
Kala Chuk Nagda Zulatem, Elders Lokta Nimboshan. Oh my.
What did he say?
He says that they will join your church in exchange for the hyperbikes, and they want to keep your name badges too.
They want eternal salvation and our hyperbikes?
Cool. They get our bikes and we get our first converts. What a deal. I mean, there must be 200, maybe 300 Jawas on board this piece of junk. I mean, we could convert them all.
Butch, those hyperbikes don't belong to us. They belong to the church.
And so will the Jawas after we baptize them.
Could this be it? Converts for Elders Christiansen and Jensen at last? Would the church frown on bartering for membership? And how many Jawas can you convert for a pair of Mark 32 hyperbikes with custom fender flares and luggage racks? Tune in next time to hear Lehigh say... No, and that is final. Now, Mr. 3PO, if you would just kindly ask the Jawas to give back our name badges, we'll be on our way.
Well, all right. What if I give them my luggage rack and fender flares and we just baptize, a couple of them?
No! That is your big problem, Butch. You always try to do things the easy way.
Oh, yeah? Well, listen to this. I've been letting you win at Scripture Chase.
On the next growth-stunting episode of Space Elders!
All right, if you want to get in line to let me speak to the Lieutenant Governor, you can call now, 877-602-9696, or you can text in your questions to 33986, because it is time now to award round one of your boners.
And it's brought to you in totally by some delicious pulled pork tacos.
Nice.
So we had boner candidate number one. Hey, you have hate in your heart, and you what is it? Yeah, you have hate in your heart, and you need to forgive. Elders at a Pennsylvania church were letting a confessed abuser of children at the church attend services. They said, well, we're keeping an eye on him. We're keeping him away from the kids. The parents were not happy with that situation. They filed an injunction with a court, and the judge agreed with the parents and said, you know, he can worship at home. Boner candidate number two, well, that's detective work for you at its finest. The detectives in New Jersey followed some footprints in the snow from the scene of a stolen car crash. They followed the footprints in the snow and indeed found the guy who stole the car at his apartment. And boner candidate number three, the anti-Semitic Animal House, high school kids turning a Newport Beach home into a party place where they apparently thought it was really a lot of fun to throw up Nazi salutes and make swastikas, and they've rounded them all up, and they're going to re-educate them, they say. There was no prize available for a random boner voter except for a hearty handshake from me. If you happen to see me out in public, I'm happy to oblige. And the winner, hands down, boner candidate number three, the anti-Semitic Animal House.
All right, there you go. That's the winner of round one. It is now qualified to be boner of the day. It'll have to defeat the winner of round two's voting. We'll do this again at 8:20 with three more candidates. And we'll take both those winners and put them into boner fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided by you.
And there it is, the music that signifies that the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Utah has joined us here in the studio. He is the Honorable Spencer Cox, and he's brought with him a guest, which means that we can't be mean to him.
It's true, Bill. Being the snowflake that I am, I'm tired of...
You brought a human shield.
of all the abuse I've taken, and I have brought the lovely, the wonderful, the very well-known Pamela Atkinson with me this morning.
Ms. Atkinson is one of the nicest people that you'll ever meet on the planet, and you can't say anything bad or mean to people when she's in the room.
She does so much for the homeless population here in Utah.
As she refers to them, her homeless friends. And hi, nice to see you, Pamela.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Now you're having to stand on your tippy toes almost.
Yeah, bring that down to her.
Pamela, so what? Yeah, you don't need that. So why are you here this morning, other than to protect Spencer?
He's a good chap, I have to tell you. I'm here to talk about the Pamela Atkinson Homeless Trust Fund, and everybody who pays taxes can check off on the form, go online and do it now. We're quite sophisticated, and check off $2 or more. And that money that's collected goes to the state, who in turn gives it to the agencies that serve homeless people. It's for emergency shelter. It's particularly for case management to help people take those steps out of homelessness. So anybody can give $2, and that $2 alongside thousands of others giving $2, we'd like to hit $1 million.
That case management, that means so it doesn't go to capital funding for building or things like that. It's
not at all.
It's for helping people who are homeless get jobs and get off of perhaps substance abuse and that sort of thing.
Yes, it's directly for homeless services that help them take those steps out of homelessness, gives them one-on-one with a case manager to look at what skills they have, what concerns they have. And we don't tell people what they need. They tell us, and we work very closely with them and help them set their own goals. But to see some of them actually get out of shelters, get into housing, get jobs, get treatment, I mean, it's almost like a miracle. And anybody's $2 can help make those miracles happen.
It really is the goal. It's why it's called the road home. Get people moving and not have to. And it's a process too, isn't it? That you may not make it the first time, you may not make it the second time, but you don't give up.
We never give up on anybody, and people deserve a second chance. I look at how many chances I've had in life earlier on, and we need to be able to give people that second or third chance. And then when they make it, and even if they have a little bit of hope, that's a motivator in itself. When they see people caring for them and giving, whether it's $2 or whether it's $100, I don't want to discourage people giving only $2 if they want to give more. That's fine. They can add as many zeros on as they like.
Well, that's the first question that's come in. It says, is there a PayPal account or something? Because I already paid my taxes and didn't do this.
Yes, there's a website, actually.
All right.
If they go to jobs.utah.gov/HTF, that's Homeless Trust Fund.
All right.
There's a wonderful website there, and it tells you how to donate, why you're donating, and what your dollars will do.
We'll post that link on our social media so people can find that.
It's always lovely to see you, Pamela.
All right. Thank you so much.
I haven't paid my taxes yet, so I'll make sure I do that.
Great.
Are you going to pay them this year?
I always yes. He flags me every year.
Dude, we're going to audit Bill again.
I always gets to make sure I always pay them, but it's always at the last minute.
We take last-minute dollars. We take them all through the year with this website. And please know, Bill, with your money being given, it'll make a difference in people's lives.
I will do it. I'll make sure.
Right.
Now, would you mind stepping away from the microphone so we can have at him?
He's all yours.
We'll take a break.
We'll take a break.
Oh, we'll take a break. All right.
So if you have questions for the Lieutenant Governor, 877-602-9696. Hang in there, Milo. We'll get to you.
Thanks, Pamela.
Or you can text them. Yes, thank Pamela. 33986. You can text in your questions or head into the chat room. Either way, we can get a question to Spencer Cox. All right.
We have a crash westbound US 6 at, milepost 200. It's the Tie Fork rest stop. I don't know where that
is.
Let's see, we've got crash southbound Mountain View Corridor 118 South in South Jordan. Some congestion northbound I-215 at I-80 to 40th South. Crash eastbound I-80 at the 13th East off-ramp in Salt Lake. The left lane is blocked there. Crash westbound I-215 62nd South in Salt Lake. Left lane is closed there. A couple of friends of the program sending in that one that they're being affected by. And crash I-215 East, the ramp to go to Foothill Drive in Salt Lake. The left lane is blocked there. The Blocks is downtown Salt Lake, and there are more than 80 events every month. For a full listing of performing and visual arts events, visit theblockslc.com.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be back with the Lieutenant Governor and round two of your boners as well. Stand by for all of that. Gina, Volkswagen Southtown.
Oh, yeah, actually, I'm meeting Festus out there today. We're going to trade in the Tiguan. And Volkswagen Southtown's been giving us different Volkswagens to test drive. And I'm not sure what one we're going to get today, but so far we've been enjoying all of the ones they've had to offer. And it's so easy to get there. Festus works out west. I work downtown, and it's really easy for us to just hop on I-15 just off 106 South, the west side of the freeway. If you go in there, anybody you talk to, you're going to have a good experience.
They're all good people down there.
They will take you through all the cars, and they'll sit in there with you, and they'll show you all of the gadgets and things you can do to up your comfort level in the different Volkswagens they have there. Smooth rides, sleek lines, they handle great, and great gas mileage too. Festus has been appreciating that because he's a young person on a
budget.
On a budget. So go to VolkswagenSouthtown.com or go see him just off 106 South on I-15 west side of the freeway, Volkswagen Southtown.
All right, let's continue.
The Lieutenant Governor, Spencer Cox, is here, and he's ready to answer questions and talk about what's going on in the legislature. But there is a human interest story about a young woman from Louisiana who accidentally applied to Salt Lake Community College. She thought she was applying to a college a junior college in Louisiana.
Southern Louisiana Community College.
SL.
Slick. Yep.
And she so she's a bright young woman who accidentally applied to Salt Lake Community College. And what happened?
Well, so she tweeted it out as kind of a joke. It went viral. We saw it, kind of tweeted back at her. A friend said, I told her, look, that may be the best mistake you've ever made. You need to come out to Utah. She said, well, I've never been outside of Louisiana. So a friend contacted her and offered to pay for her to come out here. She's coming out in April. Slick is going to roll out the red carpet for her. We're going to give her a tour of Salt Lake City, take her to the mansion, and just have a good time.
And she might come to school here?
It's possible. Anything's possible. Although now Louisiana is in on it, and they're fighting to keep her home. We'll see what happens.
It's become a sports team rivalry.
Yeah,
kind of. Pretty much. It's fun.
All right.
I think that's great. So now people want to talk about a couple of things, and we've got a call here, I think.
All right, let's go to Milo. Hi, Milo.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Go ahead, Milo.
So recently I found out that Marlboro, the cigarette company, had made a move into recreational marijuana. They purchased stock for that for making cigarettes. I was wondering whether that make a difference with the legalizing recreational marijuana, knowing that a big cigarette company has made a move into marijuana instead of cigarettes.
Thanks, Milo. That's interesting. I was not aware of that, but I know that it is becoming a bigger business, obviously, as more and more states allow for recreational or medical marijuana. That won't impact Utah's law in any way. There is a process that companies will go through to be able to provide marijuana medically here in the state, but there's no prohibition on who owns those companies.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Milo. A related question, marijuana. Our friend Deborah Jensen says, I'd like to know if the state government is planning on any sort of legal leeway for individuals bringing marijuana for medical purposes in from outside the state until we can get this super easy, super simple compromise plan up and running. People in chronic pain with a terminal illness shouldn't have to wait till you all build the central fill and stuff.
Okay, Deborah, that's a great question, a very specific question, and I hesitate to give a specific answer in case I get it wrong. I don't want someone to get arrested based on my legal advice right now.
That's true.
I believe, I think there is a safe harbor provision in the law that allows them to do that.
If I remember,
I think there is. I just don't have the details in front of me.
You've heard that because we had Steve Urquhart on the show, who said if you have the recommendation from your doctor.
Right, you have to get that first.
You get that first, and you are pulled over, and they say, oh, what is this? And you pull out your recommendation from your doctor, you should be okay, is what Steve Urquhart said about. But there is that provision.
I think that already happened to one guy here in Utah. It's already happened to a guy.
Well, and Urquhart, I believe, said it, and it also really depends on the policeman that pulls you over.
I do recall that as well.
You know, he said Salt Lake cops might be a little bit more lenient.
Salt Lake is one case.
Highway Patrol might be another.
It's a different case.
We'll look that up and try to get the details for Deborah and others so that they know exactly what the parameters are. Again, I don't want anyone getting arrested and saying, hey, well, the Lieutenant Governor on Radio from Hell said it was okay.
Let's talk a little bit about the hate crimes law. The Senate passed the hate crimes laws. Where is that stand? It looks like it's going to pass.
Yeah. So it passed the first reading with the Senate yesterday. So it has one. They have to vote on it in the Senate. They vote on it twice, which is just a procedural thing. So it looks like it's going to pass with pretty healthy margins. I think it was 22-7, maybe, or 19-9, somewhere around there. And then it will be off to the House. So we're for those that don't know, we do have a hate crimes bill on the books. The problem is that it's ineffective and it's really worthless. Can never be used, only for misdemeanors and in rare cases, and so it doesn't work. This one is a real hate crimes law that will allow prosecutors in the state of Utah there's teeth in it to add an enhancement if they can prove that that it is a hate crime.
There were some amendments made to it. I don't understand what they wanted to add. a couple of things. I don't know what matriculation is.
They added some categories.
What is
to there.
matriculation?
If you're a student?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but I think this has to do if you're discriminating against somebody, again, a crime against somebody because of where they go to school. So,
Like, I hate those cougars, so I'm
potentially,
going to punch you out in the parking lot.
I think that's legitimately what we're talking about here. Yeah.
And then somebody wanted to add creed and political beliefs. I understand political beliefs, but I don't understand creed.
And I think both creed and political beliefs are already covered under the categories that are there. So
That's
creed
why-
usually refers to your religion, some sort of deeply held belief, I guess, would cover that as well.
A couple of quick things here. Could you please ask about the service sales tax? I'm worried it could really impact my business.
Yeah, me too.
Haircuts.
It could really impact your business.
Our advertising.
This is just a jab at the liberal media. You know that.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
why.
So it's a jab at everyone in the service sector. There's no question about that. We've talked about this a little bit, but the problem with sales tax is that it's narrowing. It used to be that 70% of the GDP in our state was based in buying goods, and now it's only about 40% as more and more people use and buy services and to replace goods. So we don't buy lawnmowers now. You pay someone to mow your lawn. You don't buy a car. You use Uber. Those types of things have really changed the dynamic here. And so the idea is we're going to lower that rate so we all pay less for the goods that we buy, but also and then add it onto services. Looks great on paper, not as great if you're in the service industry. Yeah. And one of the problems we have with this is people don't add up the amount of sales tax they pay every year. So even though most people will save, in fact, the average person will save, I think, about $500 to $600 a year, you don't pay attention to that like you do your income tax, where at the end of the year you add it all up and see the tax bill. And so it's a little harder to convince people, hey, you're going to pay a lot less when, whether it's 3.1% or 4.9% that they pay when they check out, it doesn't mean a lot.
Does the legislature have anything to do with the decertification of the BYU Police Department?
So the decertification actually is the governor's Department of Public Safety. So that's our side on the executive side.
And that is happening?
That is happening, yeah. Unless and until they can certify that they're going to follow the laws. There is a bill that is related to this, and that is a grandma bill that would make them subject to the same laws as every other policing entity in the state, and make sure that they follow that. But as things are going right now, as of September, BYU will lose their certification.
Does anything happen to the departments now that also were responsible, like the Honor Code and the Dean's Office, that took those reports from that police officer and used them?
So nothing happens to them. The punishment goes to the department that took those and provided them against the law.
But those departments at the university used those against students.
Right, but they were given that information. So again, we don't have any way to be able to punish them.
That's a private university. You can't.
Right.
The state can't do anything.
But the fault lies with the entity that gave them that information.
And I don't know if you could comment on this, but I was speculating that they get certification. For instance, they have a law school that gets a national certification. And a Title IX office or 10 office that gets national certification. Is that gonna be effective?
That's a good question, and I don't know. That would be at the federal level and not a state issue. This is a state issue. Our Department of Public Safety certifies those who can act as law enforcement, who go through post training, and after gathering all the information, by we I mean our Director of Public Safety decided that they were clearly in violation.
These are ethical problems that I think need to be examined
absolutely
on all sides.
I couldn't agree more.
One more quick question.
Quick question.
It's daylight savings this weekend. Are we still doing that?
Yeah, I hate it so much, but yes, we're still doing it.
We are still doing it.
Okay, just checking.
We're still doing it.
Okay.
Although I just read today that it looks like the European Union, may be opting out of daylight saving time.
Really?
It won't be decided, I think, until June, but at least initially. I just saw a tweet 15 minutes ago. So something to look into.
Okay.
I'm very pro getting rid of daylight
Someday.
saving time. So someday we'll get there.
That's a possibility. All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys. One more week. We're almost there. We'll see you next week.
Okay. Now we'll see you Wednesday next week. Is that right?
Wednesday next week.
Wednesday next week. All right. Thank you very much, sir. All right.
Well, apparently there's a piece of rebar sticking out of the freeway in the center lane. This is southbound I-15, about 90th South in Sandy. So Highway Patrol is blocking that off while they deal with it. So you're going to be dealing with it, trying to get around there. Friend of the program says I-215 eastbound is blocked northbound from about 45th South to I-80 just after the 62nd ramp. Both left lanes are blocked due to an accident. This says stay away. Traffic very slow on the east side from I-215 to 39th South Foothill. Thank you, friends of the program, for sending those in at 33986.
All right. Boners round 2 coming up. Here are the titles. Number 1, it was an unsportsmanlike ruckus after the Utah State game, and the fans weren't at fault.
Really?
Boner candidate number 2, Congressman King at it again. And number 3, I was just playing a joke on old Grandpa.
All right. We'll be back in about 3 minutes with round 2 of your boners. Big boy news, opinioendo, all that. Diamonds Direct are making the other diamond merchants in Salt Lake nervous.
Okay, let me throw this at you.
All right.
You've heard of FOMO, right?
Fear of missing out.
Yes.
I had never heard of that until I read it in this.
Really?
Well, Bill's not afraid of missing out.
I'm never afraid of missing out.
Okay.
Because I'm always in the know. Fear of missing out, paralyzed when you're shopping. That's also known as you have this fear that you've made the wrong deal, right?
Yeah.
Buyer's remorse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you shop at Diamonds Direct, you will never have buyer's remorse. You go to Diamonds Direct and you say, "Oh, what if I?" You'll never have to think, "What if I made the wrong choice?" When you buy something there, you will always know that you got the best deal. You will never get a bigger diamond for less than you do at Diamonds Direct. There's no middleman there, no importer. You will just get it because they cut out the middleman. You will never say to yourself, "What if could I have gotten a better designer ring?" No. You will always get the best at Diamonds Direct.
They will make you a deal and you won't believe it.
What if she wants something different in a few years?
You can trade up.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. At Diamonds Direct, you can. We'll tell you about that more coming up in the next few days. But Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of what you originally paid toward a new and bigger diamond. Diamonds Direct, no FOMO, 6400 South, right across the street from Fashion Place Mall.
The day.
The scents of summer, barbecues, days at the beach, with your buddies, the smell of a man, a cologne that says,
I am a man. I am all man. I am very, very manly, dude.
Radio from Hell brand beer scented cologne. A little one-on-one b-ball at the playground, or working all day on your car in the hot, hot sun. A man wants to smell like a man. Radio from Hell brand beer scented cologne. Being a man is hot, sweaty work, and hot, sweaty work all goes better with beer.
Radio from Hell brand beer scented cologne. Now available in convenient 6-packs at Checker Auto Parts and on draft in kegs at Costco.
Coming soon, Radio from Hell brand Zima scented perfume for the ladies.
All right. Let's see. It's 8:22 right now. Time for round 2 of your boner voting. Presenting to you now 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. See if it wins here. It's not Boner of the Day. It has to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. So we'll take both those winners, round 1, round 2, throw them into Boner Fight at 9:20. That is when you will decide Boner of the Day. So pick your champion for round 2 right now. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it, gotta win it. Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair, Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
Oh, and don't forget, Carrie and I will be doing the XL Automotive Repair commercial.
Is that coming up?
Coming up.
Okay.
As Snuffy and Guffy.
I'm so excited.
Glad I could make your day.
This does.
Don't get too excited. It may not go as
No,
well.
it'll be great.
It may not go as well
It'll
as.
be great.
It's been so long since I performed the character. I'm not sure.
What's your motivation?
And it's going to be kind of off the cuff, and we may botch it.
Yes.
Here's boner candidate number 1. It was an unsportsmanlike ruckus after the Utah State game, but apparently the fans weren't at fault. The tempers flared and went viral in the aftermath of Utah State's biggest win in over a decade. But it didn't have anything to do with the thousands of fans who rushed the court in celebration. That determination comes from the Mountain West Conference League office, which on Monday issued a statement explaining that the situation in the hallways of the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum was due to inappropriate conduct from both programs in the post-game handshake line and subsequently in the locker room areas. The Mountain West Conference office said it reviewed video clips from various sources as well as from a collection of written statements from individuals involved. The Utah State fans who stormed the court after the 81-76 win over the number 12 ranked Nevada, Wolverines, were not the root of the incidents that surfaced in expletive-laden videos posted late Saturday evening. The league will not sanction or fine either school, rather leaving it up to each individual university to determine penalties for those involved. There was a post-game management plan in place, and it was executed successfully, the Mountain West Conference said. The Mountain West Conference statement said conference officials had multiple talks with both USU Athletic Director John Hartwell as well as Nevada AD Doug Nuff, and has shared the conference's findings with them. Each institution will be responsible for the determination and administration of what it deems appropriate. It must be made clear, unsportsmanlike and unprofessional conduct is not acceptable and will not be tolerated. Hartwell later released a statement regarding the post-game incident Saturday in Logan, saying there was unacceptable behavior by some Utah State University staff members.
So not the team.
Not the team, not the students, the
but
staff.
Adults?
Yes.
Adults.
First of all, we want to thank both the Mountain West and University of Nevada in helping us review the post-game incident. While unfortunate, it should not overshadow that there was a great college basketball game between two tournament-caliber teams. We reviewed all the evidence. It was not our students, not our athletes, but some staff members engaging in behavior that was unacceptable.
That's interesting.
We will handle these issues internally. Moving forward, Utah State Athletics will review our game management procedures in an effort to continually learn and improve. Nevada coaches and staffers were later seen criticizing uniformed police officers, alleging they were not properly protecting their players from being touched by fans who rushed the court as they tried to make their way to the locker room once the game had ended. There was one player for Nevada who was upset because he felt that he was not being well protected, and I
think I saw the video of that.
Yeah, he smashed his hand into something, and he was very upset because he felt that he was menaced by fans. But then there were some staff members for Utah State who were hurling some
should
insults.
know better.
Yeah, it was not the fans or the players basically that were fault. Boner candidate number 1. Boner candidate number 2, Congressman King, at it again.
Why is he still allowed to congressman?
Because he's a Republican.
Oh.
Yeah, Congressman Steve
They
King.
look the other way with this stuff.
Huffington Post story reports, for the third time in less than a week, Representative Steve King of Iowa has promoted an open white nationalist on Twitter. On Friday, the congressman, quote, tweeted Faith Goldie, a Canadian white nationalist who has publicly recited the 14 words, a white supremacist mantra, and who once recommended a book that calls for the elimination of Jews. Goldie also once appeared on the podcast produced by the Daily Stormer, a neo-Nazi website which advocates gassing Jews. In that podcast, Goldie praised white supremacist figurehead Richard Spencer. King is well aware of who Goldie is. In October, he endorsed Goldie in her long-shot run for the mayor of Toronto. The endorsement led to widespread condemnation of the congressman. But at 10:51 p.m. Friday, Congressman King promoted Goldie on Twitter anyway. And I won't read his tweet.
No, we don't.
In his tweet, King claimed that criminal aliens represented an average of 1/4 of the population of the federal prison population, and that there would have to be 82 million illegal aliens in America before they would be committing an equal proportion of crimes. He then linked a tweet by Goldie in which she lashes out at Matt Schlapp, head of the American Conservative Union, for not challenging commentator Van. It goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
He's just
still saying,
he's
showing
just
us how racist he is.
He is a POS who is a racist POS. He's at it again, Congressman King. Coming up in a moment, Boner candidate number 3. Well, I was just playing a joke on old Grandpa.
Voter candidate number 3 for round 2, coming up after this big boy news and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Feldman's Deli, featuring corned beef, pastrami, mustard, pickles, imported from New York City, now serving breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Saturday, dinner Thursday through Saturday, local live music Friday and Saturday nights, 20th East, 27th South. For more information, go to feldmansdeli.com.
Isn't Ryan Seacrest ever going to find love and get married?
Well, he was with this one for a while, wasn't he?
3 years he's been dating.
Oh, okay. I thought it was longer than that.
I think he must just be so boring that even the money doesn't matter at some point.
He's been dating chef and wellness blogger. I'm a wellness blogger.
Me too. I'm not a wellness.
Shayna Taylor. They've broken up. It was an amicable split. They're still really close. They still love and care about each other, but Seacrest, who was 44, and Ms. Taylor, who was 26, met through friends in 2013. They initially broke up a year into their relationship, but they got back together, and then, well, they just don't share photos of each other on social media too often. Taylor had posted a sweet Valentine's Day message to Ryan, but...
Well, that wasn't that long ago.
Happy Valentine's Day to my best friend, she wrote. I hope everyone's day is filled with love.
So maybe best friend is not romantic feelings.
It's too bad.
For Ryan.
Oh, well. While stating that the biting of a 4-year-old boy in Layton Sunday is unfortunate to all sides involved, there is a petition to save the lives of the 2 dogs involved. One of the husky breed dogs bit the hand right off of the young boy after he put a sock on his hand and reached beneath a fence between his backyard and the one where the dogs were kept.
So that's part of the sticky part, is they were in their yard.
The bite was made with such force that the boy's hand was severed above the wrist. A woman who says her best friend's dog was involved in the unfortunate accident has launched a petition. It asks for signatures to hand over to Davis Animal Control in an effort to help convince investigators that the dogs don't deserve to be put down. Jessica News, who launched the petition, says she's known the dogs since they were pups. They've always been really nice, she said. She thinks the dogs probably thought the boy's hand in a sock was a play toy.
Well, yeah.
Had they known the boy was on the other side, they wouldn't have attacked.
It's not the.
So I don't even know if they. I guess what I'm gathering from this, and it's not well explained, they didn't even see the kid. They just saw the hand
with a sock on it.
Yeah,
with a sock
so
on it.
it might not have
They
even
don't
been
know
a
what-
hand. to that.
they don't know what that is.
No.
That's what I'm gathering. They didn't even see a child. They just saw the sock hand. Yeah. Earthquakes, more. Seismologists suspect human activity, though, triggered an earthquake.
I didn't do anything.
In western Colorado.
What?
Monday morning, which Utah residents felt throughout the southeastern, eastern, and central parts of the state. The U.S. Geological Survey reports the 4.5 quake's epicenter near Bedrock, Colorado, shook just before 10:30 a.m. Residents from Mexican Hat at the bottom corner of Utah up through Moab and northeast into Price reported feeling the tremors. Residents in western Colorado also felt it. Would you feel that? I can feel that. Can you feel that?
No.
Oh.
It is weird. There's been so much lately, and they say this doesn't like relieve pressure, so we don't have the big one.
This was a man-made earthquake, apparently. Chuck Schilt manages Hogan Trading Company on Main Street in Moab. He said the entire building shook, the doors creaked open, and water in one of the fountains began to shake. So man-made, you say, how's that? There's Paradox Valley. There's been induced earthquakes there for many years, and by induced,
yeah, what does that mean?
What that means, seismologist Jim Peckman says, the government runs a salt water injection site in that area. Since the 1990s, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation has been injecting salt water there. It's a decades-long project. They inject salt water 3 miles into the ground to keep it out of the Colorado River.
Where does the salt
The
water
increased
come from?
It's backwash, I think.
Hmm.
The increased salinity could impact farming and other water uses downstream. It's, I don't know. It probably has to do with, well, I don't know.
Let's see. Apparently there was one 2.6 magnitude earthquake Bluffdale last night at 1 a.m.
Again?
Again. So.
Earthquake warning has been issued. It's gonna be 9.0 or greater magnitude. It may destroy lots of houses.
The brine, let's see, I'm trying to see where this brine comes from. High pressure brine injection has been known to trigger small earthquakes in the past. It's brine control because you don't want the water salinity in the water because it affects crops.
Okay.
It's collective.
There's just more things to worry about. Thanks.
So you pump it into the ground and cause an earthquake.
Yeah, and
that's better.
It's been causing earthquakes for a long time.
Listen, if people would just get on my shoot it into the sun initiative, everything that we don't want,
shoot it into
we
the
just get it on a
trash.
rocket.
That's what we could do with land. You don't need any landfills.
Nuclear waste.
Get it
Elon
on,
Musk
yes.
get on this.
Get it on a rocket and shoot it into the sun.
Hillary Clinton, shoot her into the
I
sun.
was going to say Donald Trump, not Hillary.
Well, she says Hillary Clinton said yesterday, I don't see a ring and I don't have a hat, so I'm not throwing my hat into anything. I don't have a hat to throw it into. She's not running for the White House in 2020, and that is that.
All right.
And the FBI found 2,000 bones in a house in Indiana.
How many?
2,000.
Like Native American bones.
They were ancient bones.
Oh, okay.
They say that's a lot of bones. They think this guy was just collecting. He was a
nut.
He shouldn't have had them.
All right.
He was a Christian missionary, and he was up to no good.
Sports weather traffic.
Well, I thought you might do this for a boner candidate sometime, Bill, the CEO of the San Francisco Giants.
I don't know this story.
Oh.
I don't think.
Well, there's video, and it's actually pretty sad to watch. He and his wife are in a public place. I think it's like a park, and they're having a fight. And she grabs his cell phone out of his hand. She's sitting in a chair, and he's trying to get his cell phone back from her, and while he's doing that, he knocks her out of the chair.
Oh.
And there's video of all, and they're screaming at each other. Now they've put out statements saying, we love each other.
Sure you do.
This was just a small fight. It was no big deal. It looks pretty. I'm unnerved watching it because it's like, if they really believe that this is normal, fine behavior, I think that's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the CEO of the San Francisco Giants. He's announced he's stepping away from the team, as both the Major League Baseball and San Francisco Police Department are both investigating the incident. Jazz lost last night to the Pelicans, but they'll get a chance to reverse that tomorrow night. Well, they will travel to New Orleans to play them there. Weather, it'll just be cloudy and breezy today and pretty warm, 54 for a high. Later tonight, we should start seeing some rain. So rain tonight into tomorrow. Traffic, we've got crash southbound I-15 at SR 92 exit in Utah County. The right shoulder affected there. They're dealing with that rebar that was sticking out of the road 90th south, southbound I-15. 2 right lanes are closed while they're trying to deal with that. Crash northbound I-15 56 south in Salt Lake off to the right shoulder. Crash southbound I-15 at the I-15 I-215 junction in North Salt Lake. And crash southbound Mountain View corridor at 118th south. That's traffic.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. I was just playing a joke on old Grandpa. A Wisconsin teen has injected cow tranquilizers into his grandpa's energy drinks in an attempt to be funny.
It's not funny.
According to a criminal complaint, the victim was left stumbling and suffering slurred speech and a droopy face and heavy breathing.
You could have killed him, you little jerk.
Doctors concluded the symptoms were because of stress, lack of sleep, and the victim's consumption of energy drinks. But when the symptoms returned, the grandpa concluded Rabenhorse Malone, that's the kid's name, Tyler Rabenhorse Malone, was messing with him and stopped leaving his drinks unattended. Soon after the symptoms disappeared, the victim told police he found 2 syringes shoved into a corner of the barn, furthering his suspicion. After supplying samples to the local sheriff, Wisconsin State Crime Laboratory tests found traces of xylazine, a sedative for large livestock, in one of the drinks. The syringes tested positive for the drug, too. In his confession, Tyler Rabenhorse Malone said,
"There he is.
Well, I didn't mean to hurt him. I just thought it'd be funny to see him."
There he is, that hardened criminal.
How old is he?
X96.com/live.
He looks pretty young.
He's a teen. It says he's a teen.
He's just a kid.
I just thought I was playing a joke on old Grandpa.
17.
Boner candidate number 3.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. It was an unsportsmanlike ruckus after the Utah State game, but the fans weren't at fault. Unacceptable expletive-laden shouting match after the Utah State-Nevada game, but the conference says it wasn't the fans, it was staff members. Boner candidate number 2, Congressman King, at it again. Steve King promoting a white nationalist. And boner candidate number 3, I was just playing a joke on old Grandpa.
All right, here we go. This is round 2 of your boner voting. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. See, if it wins here, it's got to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. We'll take the winner of each round and throw them both into boner fight at 9:20. That is when you'll decide boner of the day, here in about 45 minutes. So you decide this round, 1, 2, or 3. Remember the candidate number, the one you think should win. Put that number in the message of a text and text that to 33986. Or you can call Katie in the producer's booth. She'll take your vote via voice at 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting March 5, 2019. And vote there. You've got 4.5 minutes is all, though. Let's go. Round 2.
When
I'm not going to. You, however, Gina, should.
Dye my goatee?
I think
Is
so.
it embarrassing?
It is. It's getting to be embarrassing.
People are talking.
You dye your hair and you dye your eyebrows, but you just let your nose hairs and your and your goatee go. And when you have gray nose hairs and a gray goatee,
I've been nose waxing. I've been going to your nose
You
wax
have?
place. Yes. What do you can't tell?
no, I don't make a habit of looking up your nostrils.
Good, I'm glad.
I looked up your old address one time, but I didn't. But I've never looked up your nostrils. Why do you go more than? I mean, I go once every 3 months or
They
something.
call me, don't they call you? It's been about a month since you've been in.
No.
Got to get on that frequent waxer program.
There's a punch card.
Have you had Jules do it?
No, because the first time I went to somebody else, and so now I'm on.
Well, see,
her.
I think Jules is kind of a hippie or something.
She's a free spirit.
She doesn't. She does. She said. I think she said one time she'd call me, and then she never does.
No, this girl's like, Valentine's Day's coming up. You might want to get your
Yeah.
nose waxed before Valentine's, because that's what you do before.
See, you haven't noticed any hairs hanging out my nose.
Well, it's hard because you've got a mustache, so it's hard to tell where the nose hairs begin and the.
So until it becomes really obvious, I don't have anything. I don't have any need to do it.
What's gross is when it is really obvious, even when you have a mustache. The nose hairs. Because I think some people think, well, I don't need to take care of that.
And it's usually just one rogue hair I'll notice. I'll go, wait a minute.
Ah.
Oh, my God.
That's why I keep tweezers in the car. Best light. Best place to do that.
In the car?
In the car with your
Yeah,
visor down in the mirror.
whatever.
The light's great. You can get right up in there.
You might try concentrating on the driving
Well,
part
I'm
of
not
it.
doing it while I'm driving.
What do you?
If you see me in a parking lot, I'm probably plucking a hair out of somewhere.
I'd better pull over and pluck a hair out of something.
You've never looked in that mirror in the bright sunlight and gone, "Oh, I didn't know I had hair there."
Yeah, well, I have, but I can't.
Tweezers in
but,
your car.
But it's only when I'm standing on the seat. That's the only time I've ever
Standing on the
noticed. It's when I'm standing on the seat and bending over to reach something. I go, I didn't know I had hair
Wait
there.
a minute.
Somebody get me some tweezers and a long arm. So anyway, I guess we ought to start the show.
Thank you.
Ow! I don't tweeze the hairs in my nose because it brings a tear to my eye.
Oh.
Every time I do it, it's like you pull it and it doesn't it do that to you?
Sure.
Doesn't it make your eye go blink? And then
That's how I can get away with seeing Chappie in the theaters, because the robot's going to die at some point. Award round 2 of your boners.
And round 2 of the boners is brought to you in part by a delicious apple I just had.
What kind of apple?
He was slurping it.
It's a Kiku.
A Kiku.
I think it's called Kiku.
I haven't had a Kiku.
They're quite good.
And when Tuesdays roll around, you can head to Gracie's and enjoy Tuesday night Bluegrass Jam with Pixie and the Partygrass Boys from 7 until 10. Like Gracie's on Facebook for updates. Adults only.
Apple season is almost over.
Got to turn to berry season? It'll be berry season.
Yeah, it's kind of getting into the berry
or
and
stone fruit
season. So we had boner candidate number 1. It was an unsportsmanlike ruckus after the Utah State game, but it wasn't the fans' fault. It was apparently staff, and that was, causing the problems and saying bad stuff. Boner candidate number 2, Congressman King at it again. Steve King of Iowa, promoting a white nationalist, a Nazi, a person who talks about Jew killing.
Mm-hmm.
Really, what is with that guy?
Well, he's a racist.
He's a racist, yeah.
Oh, that's
really,
why.
really
Easy to explain.
Yeah.
And boner candidate number 2, I'm just playing a joke on old Grandpa. A Wisconsin teenager spiking it's actually his stepfather, I just noticed, but I like Grandpa better. That's why I put it in the title. Spiking his energy drinks with cattle tranquilizers. Randy won a boner T-shirt courtesy of XL Automotive Repair, and the winner, Iowa Congressman Steve King. Boner winner.
That's your winner of round 2. It is now qualified to be boner of the day. It'll have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We have the round 1 winner. Now we have round 2. We'll take both of those winners, throw them into boner fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide boner of the day. All right, we have like 5 minutes here, so
have a list.
A list.
A list. People love lists. This is a list of British foods, and I love these foods. Number 1 on the list.
Now, is it just a list of British foods? Is there a reason for the list?
Well, it just says these are foods that it says I, as an American, really miss these British foods. This is an American who lived in Britain for quite some time. A wide array of very nice sandwiches that you can get at literally every convenience store, supermarket, and pharmacy in Great Britain.
That is true.
Yeah. And more specifically, number 2, the fact that they have variety sandwich packs, which is perfect, so if you can't pick just one. So like you can get a package that has in it a chicken, bacon, chicken salad, and chicken stuffing sandwich. They're all of those sandwiches in one pack.
I just can't think packaged convenience store sandwiches.
They are delicious.
They're actually tasty because,
number 3,
they use the real stuff over there where we get the processed over here.
Number 3, all the different kinds of chips that you can get. Different flavors.
You mean crisps?
Yeah, crisps, as they call them in
Bill,
Britain.
crisps.
Roasted chicken and thyme.
Ooh.
Crisps.
That sounds good.
Yeah, they just have all these different flavors that are great. Scotch eggs.
Yes.
That are already cooked and prepackaged.
What's a Scotch egg?
A Scotch egg is it's a hard-boiled egg, and then it's got sausage around it, and then it's got like a shell.
It has a couple of layers of things, and then it's deep fried with a brown shell. You can get one at it used to be the Hookah Bar. What's the name of the bar down there? By Fashion Place Mall.
There are a couple of places.
Prohibition.
Prohibition. Thank you. You can get one there.
Chip Buddies. Literally, it's a sandwich with French fries in it.
Yes.
French fries and gravy. A sandwich.
Delicious.
Made out of French fries and gravy. Bacon Buddies. Again, it's simply just it's what you have all the time, Gina. A bacon sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I love those.
Cornish pasties. Delicious. It's just a pastry, and it's got junk in it.
Now I have...
Jammy Dodgers.
That's your wife.
Yes, that's her roller derby name.
We had I think it was a Beat Gina, where I won, and I can't remember her name.
You won her?
Well, no, she had British foods because she's British, and
What did she bring?
she brought McVitie's.
Oh, I love those.
Hobnobs.
Yes.
Which are biscuits.
Yeah, they're delicious.
And she also sent some Tunnocks tea
Let's
cakes.
break them out.
All right.
Oh, here, Nando's. You love Nando's.
Love Nando's. You know, you can buy the Nando's
It's a-
sauce at Harmon's.
Well,
has
I don't
it.
want just the
that's
sauce.
right.
Mhm.
I want- it's Nando's. It's a chicken place. You can get chicken and rice and.
But if you
here, a variety of sausages. Here's just a battered sausage. It's as bad for you as it sounds, but delicious.
Carrie,
Oh, what's
have
this?
a hobnob.
This is a hobnob?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about beans on toast?
No, why are you eyeing for beans on toast?
It's so good.
It's good.
You just get a couple of slices of toast and pour like a can of hot beans.
It's
on
just
it.
the
It's
regular pork and beans. It's,
Yeah.
This
you know,
is just like a oatmeal cookie kind
oatmeal
of.
cookie. Yeah.
Oh, Bill's gonna eat on the air. Here we go.
I love McVitie's. You guys are eating on the air.
Yeah, but people don't mind when we do it.
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah. What is?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Mmm.
I'm gonna go back to London.
HP sauce. I can.
We get HP sauce.
I like HP.
Do
sauce.
we have that here?
It's like
Yeah,
A1,
you
but
can buy it.
Oh, okay.
I don't generally like those kind of sauces, but I kind of like HP. How about Lilt?
What's that?
It's a pineapple grapefruit drink. Dairy Milk chocolate bars.
Good chocolate there.
Well, that's it. They don't have McVitie's here.
I've told you before the Dairy Milk. So when Mohammed and Joe watch Premier League soccer, we have a special drawer in the kitchen that only has Dairy Milk chocolate in it, and the only time you can eat it is when you're watching Premier League soccer.
Because
Speaking of soccer,
because you have to have rules. Yeah.
we have a giveaway.
Oh, we do? Let's go.
We're giving away some dairy milk.
No. X96 wants to send you to the Real Salt Lake season opener happening this Saturday, March 9th at the Riot. You can listen all week long for your chance to win. We have some to give away now, also 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. It's a pair of tickets for opening day. Also, you can go to x96.com and enter for your chance to win a game day VIP upgrade. With that, you'll get tickets and the new 2019 RSL jersey. You can get all the details at x96.com. But for right now, you can text the word player, 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 text that to 33986.
All right. Thank you very much.
I want beans on toast now.
Why is that the thing you're excited about?
I just haven't had it for a long time.
Beans on toast. Let's see. Maintenance and snow removal is happening SR 144. This is at the SR 92 junction in Utah County. The road is closed for a little bit while they get rid of some snow there. Crash southbound I-15 at milepost 284. That's SR 92 exit in Utah County off to the right shoulder. Pothole repair. I don't think it was a pothole. They said it was rebar that was sticking up out of the road.
That's what you
Southbound
said
I-15 90th south. 2 lanes are closed there while they deal with that. Check our message stream quickly. Oh, you're all trying to win the RSL tickets now, so I don't have any other traffic updates from you there, so looks like that's it.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. We'll take a break. We will be back. Tuesday Tunes with Todd on the way. And
we're going to try this now?
As promised this morning at the check-ins, someone requested that we do one of our live ads as Snuffy and Guffy, beloved characters from radio past.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Hey there, Guffy, I gotta get my car looked at. It's time for the inspection.
Well, you know where my wife always makes me take my car?
Where's that?
Well, we take it out there to XL Automotive Repair.
Where are they located
Well,
at?
they're there on the corner of the 33rd South and 3rd East.
Well, that's very convenient.
Well, it is to me. You know, your commuter vehicle needs to be reliable, just like your mechanic.
I'm thinking of buying a used car there, Snuffy. What do you?
Well, sure.
You think they'd take a look at it for me?
Well, I know they would. They got this deal, you see. You take your car, your used car, the one you're thinking of buying out there to the XL, and they'll look it over for you, and they'll, Steve or Richard, and they'll go, oh, that's a good car.
Will
That's a
they
good
make them noises?
Oh, yeah. Well, Richard, he goes, yeah.
He does a clicking,
Yep,
does he?
That's right. He does.
That's how I know he's thinking hard.
They'll do 2 cars for $50.
Well, that's a heck of a deal.
It sure is. Listen, Steve and Richard and all the boys out there to XL Automotive Repair, they know how to fix cars, and they'll do it for cheap. So take your car to XL Automotive Repair or go to their website. They're xlautomotiverepair.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Radio from Hell radio players.
Sex. Boom. There, I said it.
You did it. Good for you. I love how you snicker and can't say that word with a straight face.
I didn't snicker. All I'm saying is our relationship expert is in the studio. And I made a breakthrough, didn't I? Didn't I?
What was it?
I said sex over the public airwaves.
Oh, by the way, I did get your email with all your questions. We're going to go through them one by one tonight.
All right, thanks for throwing me under the bus.
It's all good, brother. Big Daddy's here.
The birds and the bees. It's a conversation that is a famous in culture.
Oh yeah, critical.
What actual percentage would you say from your experience as a relationship coach, what percentage of families actually have this conversation with their kids?
You know, my gut would tell me 35%.
Really? See, I would have put it somewhere around like 5, 10.
Well, I don't know, you think, but I don't know that they do a great job about it.
You know there's things we don't talk about, kids.
Right.
One of them is the birds and the bees.
I think we're getting to a day and age when more and more of it is happening. There are some great statistics about, teenage sex and things like that. And, those numbers are dropping, not doing it as much as they used to, amazingly.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that nationwide or just in Utah?
Nationwide.
Okay.
And, in fact, I'm looking for those as we're talking. I think what we're starting to see is, for example, younger adolescents, so younger than 15 years of age, are delaying sexual intercourse by a great number. In fact, here's some examples, some other statistics. Ages 12 to 19-year-olds report parents are their greatest influence regarding sexual decision-making and values.
Okay.
37% say their parents were the most important key as opposed to their friends, 33%, siblings 5%, and the media. So parents, it's a critical thing that you talk to your kids. 94% of adolescents and 91% of, it's 94% of adolescents and 91% of parents believe that adolescents should be advised that they should not have sex before completing high school.
That's interesting because, for the most part, not the most part, but a lot of parents believe that their kids aren't going to listen to them.
Oh, yeah. No.
They don't have the kind of influence over their teenagers that they wish they had. But what you're saying is...
they expect it.
So, yeah, parents, step up. I think Utah, I believe we do have a bit of stigma around this topic. Sometimes we don't want to go there. Sometimes we think it's opening up a can of worms. But I think it's completely your responsibility, and, you would let your kid go and do something dangerous, without some advice, some information.
Like rock climbing, or...
Like rock climbing, right. You'd make sure they knew what was going on. You'd make sure that they...
or driving.
Uh-huh, right.
What the hell was that?
That was the Radio from Hell radio players.
What? How long was that?
Too long.
How long was that?
4 minutes.
What did they say?
And that was cut off.
And I still don't know what they said.
I have no idea what they were talking
there was
about.
More of it.
No pee breaks, people. No pee breaks.
We can't. We have a guest in the studio.
Did you go?
No.
Do you want us to wait for you?
No, it's okay. That's okay. I'll just do the shuffle.
You'll do the shuffle?
Yeah.
Does that help?
No.
It does not help?
Not really.
I find it makes it worse, actually.
Yeah, it does. I'll be okay.
Does it make it worse the more we talk about it?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's move on. Let's say hi to Todd.
Hi, Todd. I've got your jingle here somewhere.
It's our good friend Todd, Todd Newcomb. He's here to do this thing that we call
Tuesday Tunes with Todd.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Tuesday Tunes with Todd.
Precisely.
On X96.
All right.
Bring it from hell.
No, we call it Tuesday Tunes with Todd.
All right. What did you bring us, Todd?
So we have ex-ambassadors. They've been working on some new material there. I believe there's a new album that's going to be out later this year. And this song is just too damn catchy. And
I've not heard this yet.
It's called Boom.
Boom. I like the title.
It's pure ear candy. And it's not what you would expect from them. Well, I guess sometimes because they've done some work with some producers and some DJs and things along the way. But this is
they've
very bouncy.
they've varied their stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit. All right. What's the name of the album? Do we know?
I don't know anything about the title of the album.
All right. So here it is. The latest from Ex-Ambassadors. Boom. Tuesday Tunes with Todd, X96.
My feet go boom, 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 boom.
Actually stuck in your head now.
Yes.
Good luck getting to sleep tonight. Thanks, Todd.
Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 boom,
No,
boom,
we
boom.
here in the studio, you couldn't see us pressed play on the song, and 4 or 5 seconds in, I think every one of us all raised our hands up and went, hit, there it is.
So, yeah, new album from those guys on the way, but that song, extra bouncy and fun, Ex-Ambassadors, and the song Boom.
They tour quite a bit. They'll probably be back in town here.
I'm sure they will.
I would think. They're practically a local band, as far as I'm concerned.
Every band's a local band these days because everyone's
seems
touring
like
all
it.
the time. It's crazy.
Seems like it. All right. Well, thank you, Todd. That was very catchy.
We shall revisit this again in a week.
Thursday turns with Todd on X96, Radio from Hell.
Yep. Huge hit.
I got biscuit stuck in my teeth now.
So, well, it's okay. It'll be all right.
Well, it's good. I like it.
You ought to keep a water pick on you.
Oh, these are all good.
Water.
The tea cakes, though, or is it, what are they called?
Yeah, tea cakes. It's British food. We're eating British food.
The foil is sticking to the chocolate.
I just
is
ate it
Is
anyway.
it pulling it up?
So, yeah, you're getting foil.
Half of it has a little metallic taste to it, but that's okay.
Getting foil in it. So just beware.
You need a little foil in your diet every once in a
You
while.
do?
It's a trace element.
It's tasty otherwise. It's a delicious thing. But there you go. Just be warned of that. Boner fight coming up. Stand by. Also, a reasonable amount of news all on the way. Haster Games. They have a website, hastergames.com, and you can see game demonstrations on video there.
Oh, you should just go in and have them show you, though.
That's what I think you should do, because they're more than happy to crack open one of the games and just get it out there and show you how to play it. 6831 South State, Haster Games. Mondays are now board game nights at Haster Games. So if you're looking to play some great games with some great people, Monday night is board game night at Haster Games. They have a couple of weekly groups, one playing strategy board games, the other playing more party-type board games. So you can stop by and give one or the other a try. Also available now at Haster Games, beautiful wall scrolls for Magic the Gathering. One of the best ones is of the Black Lotus. You'll have to go in and take a look at them. They're very nice. They have open board gaming all the time, so feel free to grab one of the games from their 300 games library and give it a try. So any game that you've been curious about, this is your chance to give it a try for free, just to sit down and play it with them. And they'll probably come over and show you how to play it if you have any questions. They are located at 6831 South State. They're open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays. That's why they say it's a great place to stay and play, because they're open all the time. Haster Games, 6831 South State. The dates for... Go.
That's why nothing to spend in the summer in and out of health facilities like 18 fingers of death.
So, tell us who stars in this opus.
Well, this is the only movie that's better than 17 Fingers of Death.
Yeah.
It stars James Liu.
Oh, so this is a sequel then?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's Buford, the down-and-out action hero.
James Liu, okay.
Okay.
And we got Maurice Patton.
Yeah.
He's Ronald Mack, the college student and wannabe director.
Okay.
Lisa Arturo.
Nope.
She's Sushi Q, the Honorable Fortune Cookie CEO.
Okay.
Pat Morita.
Oh, well, there's a name I recognize. Arnold from Happy Days.
So I know this movie's at least a year old, right?
Exactly. Well, I noticed he's got lots of others that are in post-production.
Oh, God. All right.
He's the humble restaurateur. We got Lorenzo Lamas.
Lorenzo
Lamas, yeah.
He's a Antonio Bandana, the singing martial artist.
Okay.
Oh.
Robin Shue.
It sounds like just a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's Jackie Chong.
Yeah.
And we got Charlie George Brown as Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. Okay.
Oh, God.
And Kurt Graves as Steven Seafood.
Okay. Tell us the plot of 18 Fingers of Death.
Well, as far as I can tell, this guy starred in 803 of the finest action movies ever filmed, but he's come up with a script for what could be his breakout role. But when the producers back out and pull his funding, he's forced to pull out the "will work for Kung Fu for money" sign and sell his Kung Fu movie memorabilia in order to get enough money to make a movie in 1 week for the Sundance Film Festival.
God.
And they managed to get like about 90 minutes out of this?
Yep.
Jeez.
Oh, 90 minutes.
All right, have you got a scene from 18 Fingers of Death?
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a little Pat Morita.
Okay.
Oh, good. Pat Morita.
There we go.
Mr. Lee, listen, I've always been wanting to know, do you have Chinese Jews? Chinese Jews? Oh, very sorry today, sir. No Chinese Jew. We only have the apple Jews and the orange Jews.
Oh, man.
This is worse than I even dreamed.
Yep. What are you giving this movie, Punk?
I'm actually giving it 3.5 Prozac.
What? It's the pills talking, Punk.
It's the prednisone. I think it's the prednisone. For digging up guano, lining up to fight. You can only fight the good guy one at a time.
That's
you
right.
have to circle him.
Yeah.
Feathered hair, the drunken bastard, Bong Fu the series, a wicker basket beaten, bow tie in the kitchen, cowboy Fu, a fallen in love montage, an attack midget, and yes, learning to speak out of sync.
Learning to speak out of sync. All right, and what junk food are you going to have while you watch this movie?
I think you need to gather a few Lynn Wilson's meat and cheese burritos with extra cheese and onions. You can mix in the Durkin's French fried onions as you need. A nice meatball hero, some rainbow Twizzlers, a bunch of Starburst, Reese's Pieces, a bag of Honorable Fortune cookies, and, yes, a nice cold canister of Lost Energy drink.
All right, Punk.
Wow, sounds lovely, doesn't
For
it?
those of you that are lost.
All right.
18 Fingers of Death.
The movie that's better than 17 Fingers of Death.
Info. You're going to need it here in about 5 or 6 minutes when it's time for Boner Fight. But right now, a reasonable amount of news brought to you by
Lease a 2018 Honda Civic LX CVT from Stockton 12 Honda for just $5 a day. Honda Civics just $5 a day, only at Stockton 12 Honda in the Southtown Auto Mall.
Well, did you like the... we don't, because we don't take public transit to work because we're too early, but a lot of people like the Utah Transit Authority offering free fare 2 days last week on its buses and trains.
I hear it was a success.
Well, the Utah House has advanced a bill that could provide 17 more free fare days over 3 years. Over 3 years, which as an experiment to help reduce air pollution. It's an experiment to help. I don't think that's much of an experiment.
Yeah,
it would reduce.
Yeah.
The House passed. Yes.
But how much if it's only
the House bill
little?
passed on a 47-26 vote, and who are the 26 numbskulls who voted against it?
Yeah.
Sent it to the Senate for consideration. It would create a $1.2 million pilot program that would cover the $70,000 a day in cash that UTA figures it would lose when fares are free.
That's a lot.
We're trying to change behavior, said Representative Joel Briscoe. Can we incentivize people to do something different than they normally have done? Unlike the free fare days last week, which occurred on relatively clean air days, the future ones would be triggered on days that are expected to be especially dirty or during inversions.
So they won't give you much notice then.
Briscoe said the Utah Division of Air Quality and UTA will measure how many vehicles were likely removed from the road and the effect on the air, and help see if more free fare days would be considered in the future. It's part of a $100 million package for clean air legislation requested by Governor Herbert.
I think you got to do it more often, what they're proposing.
But if they have that option of, you know what, tomorrow's projected to be a bad air day, I mean, it's a step in the right direction.
No, but, he says, so we're trying to incentivize people to do it. Here's how you incentivize people to do it. It's going to be bad air pollution for the next 2 days. We are banning all cars from downtown Salt Lake. You have to. The public transportation is free. You may not drive your car. If you try to drive your car into downtown Salt Lake, we will ticket you. That's how you incentivize people.
I don't see that happening.
But if you want to incentivize people, that's how you do it. The free fare days last week were funded by $80,000. Contributed by Salt Lake City, Salt Lake County, Davis County, and Intermountain Healthcare. UTA also contributed by giving up its estimated $70,000 a day in cash fares. They say they're going to measure how much it impact. I mean, that's a good idea. Go ahead and measure it, but it will help.
But here's why they need to measure it, because then they can go back and say, look, this worked. Let's do.
Sure.
Here's the data showing that it worked.
Well, I've got to have numbers in columns.
Yeah,
I have to have numbers to see. Police say a protest over the shooting of an unarmed black man in Sacramento police has ended up with at least 80 arrests, including those of a clergyman or some clergy people and a reporter. Captain Norm Leong tweets that the protest Monday night ended with 80-plus arrests, still processing all of it. Dozens of people staged the march in a wealthy area of Sacramento after prosecutors declined to file charges against police who shot Stephen Clark last March. The officer said that they thought the 22-year-old Clark had a gun. He was holding a cell phone. After 2.5 hours into the demonstration, police ordered the protesters to disperse. Sacramento Bee reports that the remaining demonstrators were later surrounded on a freeway overpass. The paper says police handcuffed and led away more than 20 demonstrators, including at least 3 clergy members and a Bee reporter covering the demonstration. The reporter was later released. There's been a lot of unrest there since this man was shot. I think it was in his parents' backyard.
Mm-hmm.
It was dark.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't it a cell phone that he had?
Yeah, he had a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
They thought he had a gun. A powerful House committee yesterday launched a sweeping investigation into the Trump administration, serving document requests on 81 government agencies, entities, individuals, as part of a probe into alleged obstruction of justice and other abuses by the president. Among those targeted by the House Judiciary Committee are the president's sons, Trump Jr., Eric Trump, WikiLeaks, White House aide and Trump's son-in-law Kushner, Trump Organization Chief Financial Officer Weisselberg, Sessions, Doug McGahn, White House Counsel McGahn. We have seen the damage done to our democratic institutions in the 2 years that Congress refused to conduct responsible oversight. Now, that's not true. I know for a fact that they called Diamond and Silk in front of that committee. Congress must be...
Congress must provide GOP's Black Friend Parade.
Congress must provide a check on abuses of power, said Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler of Democrat of New York. The committee wants to determine whether Trump may have obstructed justice by ousting perceived enemies of the Justice Department, such as ex-FBI Director Comey. The House Judiciary Committee's letter has been received by the White House, said Sarah Huckabee Sanders. The president himself said, I am happy to cooperate with the committee. I always cooperate.
Sure.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
And you could win tickets to the International Sportsman's Expo, voting for Boner of the Day.
Oh, random voter. Okay.
So here we go. The winner from round 1 in the 7 o'clock hour, which was the Anti-Semitic Animal House. High school kids in California turned a Newport Beach residence into a party house, adorning it with a giant swastika made out of Solo cups, red Solo cups. And they toasted over it and used it to play drinking games. They had photos on social media showing students throwing up Nazi salutes as they partied inside of the home. It was, and apparently other students said, this is not surprising. At our school, there are swastikas carved into wood in bathrooms and other areas of the school. Yeah. And that's going up against number 2, another racist, Nazi, Steve King, congressman from Ohio, promoting a white nationalist again on Twitter. Someone named Goldie, a woman who is an avowed white nationalist who's made very anti-Semitic remarks throughout her career. Steve King supporting her and retweeting her recently. So that's number 2.
All right, you've got to decide which one of these 2 candidates is the worst and therefore should be Boner of the Day. 1 or 2. Remember the candidate number. Put that single digit of the candidate that you think should win in the message of a text. And then text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Fight March 5, 2019, and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. You've got 300 seconds. Let's go. It's Boner of the Day.
And long-known made person who makes people feel uncomfortable.
Yes,
Carrie
we've all been there.
For any number of reasons.
Carrie would say HR nightmare.
Just to let you know, because of all that just happened, you have about 2.5 minutes to tell the story.
I met someone last night at the theater who is more uncomfortable than I am, who makes people more uncomfortable than I am. Went and saw Beautiful. First Broadway touring show over at the Eccles Theater. Gorgeous. If you're interested at all in that, kind of stuff. It's so great. I went down at intermission to the bathroom.
Well, that's the Carole King show.
Yeah. Down at the in line for the urinal, and the gentleman behind me started talking to me, which is okay. We're in the bathroom. It's kind of, you don't talk in the bathroom, but lots of people do that. They wouldn't make him the most uncomfortable.
It's okay if you're not standing at the urinal. If you're in line, you could talk.
So then he and I, we happened to be urinals next to each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he continues to talk. Now, people will say my hair, as of late, is a little out of control. It's a little
Mary
unruly.
Claire's worried.
Yeah. To the extent that Gina's mom said, "Is he okay?"
Okay.
I've had several people that have Facebook messaged me saying, "Are you? But seriously, are you okay?"
I
Have
would
you
just
given
advise
up?"
you not to go to the zoo until you get a haircut.
I'm standing at the urinal next to the gentleman who I met in line waiting for the urinal. Bill, come here. You're going to be my prop for this.
Oh God!
On the radio, that's great.
I've got the hair and I've got product in
Tell
my.
HR to be ready.
I've got the product in my hair today. The gentleman reaches over while we're both going to the bathroom and starts playing with the back of my hair. Your hair has such body and bounce. How do you?
While you're
How do you do
peeing?
that? Yeah, while we are both at the urinal using the bathroom.
That's a little much.
Did he give you his phone number?
No, and
Did he give you $10?
Should have.
I would have asked him. I would have said, "Excuse me, but that costs $10."
I would have accepted either his phone number or $10.
What did you say?
I said, well, I just...
You're making me a little uncomfortable here.
No, I didn't want to make any sort of production about it as in the moment. I just was like, well, there's a conditioning gel that I use. Zip, turn, wash my hands, and walked away.
And you ought to see what I do with the hair down here.
Hey. So uncomfortable.
Now you know what it feels like?
So let me take this second.
Yeah.
If what I do to you makes
it
you
does
feel
sometimes.
like that,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I hope it's a good lesson. The massaging, the tickling on the side,
Sure.
that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
it's the same.
And it's not at the bath. Richie doesn't do that stuff in the bathroom.
No.
But sometimes he comes up and does his little tickling thing, or there's I don't care for it.
No.
Yeah. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay. Will you stop?
No,
I
but I'm
didn't think
sorry.
so.
Word boner of the day.
And you know, it's brought to you by these delicious, just absolutely delicious pulled pork tacos. Boy, they were good.
You said these like they were sitting in front of you right now, like you were offering us some as well.
They almost are in my mind.
And mark your calendars for the International Sportsman's Expo coming to Mountain America Expo Center in Sandy, March 14th through the 17th. Listen all week long for your chance to win a pair of tickets like somebody did. Now go to sportsmansexpo.com for more information.
Hang on, I'm just marking my calendar for that. There we go. All right. Boner candidate number 1, the anti-Semitic Animal House, the place in Newport. High school kids, just, man. Ugh. And it's weird that, you know, I mean, apparently there's a whole group of kids at that high school that are doing that. What do they think it's cool or something?
Well, it's a hideous community.
You got to, you know, rebel against your parents somehow, I suppose.
Is that Orange County? I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah. And then boner candidate number 2, Congressman King, at it again. White supremacist Congressman Steve King. Jeez. So, William won some Sportsman Expo tickets. And there was, you know, the voting was pretty even. They're both white supremacists.
Yeah.
But number 1, the kids, I think.
Yeah. I think people saw that video the past couple of days.
Yeah.
It's all over Twitter and everywhere.
That's who won.
That's your boner of the day for March 5, 2019. It is now qualified to be boner of the week. It'll be decided on Friday at about this time. All right.
I have a shoe update.
Oh,
shoe update.
I thought you wanted to watch the Game of Thrones trailer.
I want to do that too, but
you just want. Why don't you try giving for a change?
Well, I'll give you this story.
All right.
So earlier this morning, I told you Muhammad, who broke his ankle.
He's your son.
Yeah, my son. Broke his ankles wearing a boot. And the doctor told him he could start to try to take it off, but if it hurts, he's got to put the boot back on, or it's going to take him longer to heal. And he's trying to get better for this basketball tournament that's coming up next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
So I go to pick him up from school yesterday, and he's carrying the boot, and he's put a shoe on. So apparently he took a shoe to school to change out of.
But he wasn't smart enough to get changed back into the boot so that you wouldn't know.
But I thought I was smart, and I went around the house and gathered up all of his left shoes and hid them. Then I'm sitting here, and I get a text from my husband. It says, "Good idea to hide the shoes, but it's his right foot."
You got the wrong...
I hid all of the wrong
You really know your
shoes.
kids.
So he has no shoes.
So,
or did you tell him where they were
I told
hidden?
him where I hid
okay.
them.
I thought maybe
but
you'd brought them with you.
I thought they're in my car.
In your car. They'll never find them.
I thought I was so smart, but I need a vacation.
Already?
What do you mean already?
Didn't we just have one?
When did we have one?
Christmas?
Yeah,
we had
it's
President's
March.
Day.
No, I need like
President's
a
Day.
vacation.
Oh,
I need like a.
I think you need to go to the tired hospital is what you need.
I would love that.
Could be.
You know, we may have a forced vacation on the 31st.
Yeah.
We were gonna play the.
Do you want to watch it?
Yeah, the Game of Thrones trailer dropped. Katie, you can come in here and watch it.
Season 8 official trailer.
Okay, I'll come. Well, people on the radio can't see it.
Well, and Katie won't be able to hear it unless she has headphones. But here we go. That's Anya? Ari, yeah.
Sally.
I don't know their names.
Not many faces. I look forward to seeing this one.
On April 14th, ships in the water.
Hey, it's Columbus.
Everything you did brought you where you are now. Where you belong.
I hate her.
I hate her. She's hot.
You have to understand her.
I don't understand her.
Oh, and there's the mother of dragons and a dragon. Two dragons, because the other one's a zombie.
They're coming. Our enemy doesn't tire.
Jon Snow.
Sleeping with his cousin.
Doesn't stop.
Ant.
Doesn't feel.
Bitch.
Oh, Gina.
Hello.
There's the dragons. They're fine.
I promise to fight for the living. I intend to keep that promise.
That's a dwarf.
You just noticed now.
Yeah.
8 seasons. Uh-oh. Is that a centaur? What was that?
I don't know.
Because it was only 2 horse hooves
I'm so excited.
and not 4, which leads me to believe it's a person with horse hooves for feet.
White Walker horse hoof.
Do they have horse
person?
hooves? I've not seen their
I don't
feet.
know.
I don't know what that was. It was
I'll tweet out the
Yeah.
trailer
Do that.
because
so
it
people
was
can
mostly
watch.
visual.
Yeah.
and it was dark.
Yeah, you watch it with the lights out. Yeah.
I am so excited for this season.
And Brett, how is that a spoiler-filled viewing? How did we spoil anything?
What?
Well, we kind of did.
What?
What?
I said the one dragon's a zombie now.
Yeah, maybe people didn't know
Hey,
that.
look, how long has it been since that episode was on? More than a year. You've had more than a year to watch it.
So that one dragon's a zombie?
Yeah.
Stop.
I didn't know
The
that.
third one is.
I didn't know that.
More than a year.
I mean, I saw all the episodes, but I don't remember that. I think it's just that people forgot.
I think it's because you drink during your viewing. And
What?
You forget.
What?
He drinks to forget, Carrie. That's why.
So it's
he
like watching it
drinks.
all over again fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why I do it.
All right, that works. All right, well, I'm sure that Gina will need to clean the carpet before the premiere. Or maybe after the premiere
No, it'll
of
be
Game
after.
of Thrones, so she'll need the carpet.
You have zero res over every couple of weeks, don't you?
Yes.
You know, I did just have them over, and Dante was my
Technician?
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And I said, I think I want to add to my order, because when you call Zero Res and you say I want to do 3 rooms or whatever, and he came to my house and I said, what if I want to do my tile and my upholstery? He's like, I'm here as long as you need me.
I
Dante
know.
took care of me.
Dante said, I know who you are, Ms. Barberry. $33 per room, Zero Res right now, carpets or tile. And the minimums apply, but just tell them what you need. Call Zero Res and make sure you say that X96. If you say Gina Barberry sent me, then they'll know precisely.
Yes.
Zero Res. They don't use any chemicals. They don't use any dirty detergents, smelly stuff. Their cleaning dries faster than the other guys, and they get your home really clean. And when it's cold, you don't have to leave the windows open. It'll dry fast. ZeroRez.com is the website. That's ZEROREZ, or go to ZeroRez.com.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of 2 such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we join our elders as they are drawn to a mysterious, uncharted planet.
Are you sure the weird booming voice in your head said that this was the planet?
Yeah, this is the place.
I'm getting no signs of life on this planet anywhere. Just some weird power source in a cavern well beneath the surface.
Well, we better check it out.
Wow, cool cavern. Hey, Lehi, look. Lava lamps. Keen, huh?
Hey, Butch, you shouldn't mess around with stuff that's not ours.
Put me down.
Who said that?
It came from the lava lamp.
That is not a lava lamp. It is my receptacle. I am Calgon. Welcome to our world.
Sorry. Well, who's in the other receptacle?
That is my son, Polygon. We have resided here for 50,000 years, waiting for someone to come.
Hi, I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
And we heard you call, and we're here to offer any assistance we can. How did you guys end up in these receptacle thingies anyway?
We were a proud people, so technically advanced that we would be considered gods by your standards. We could have made an operational hyperbike the size of a walnut.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Wouldn't be very useful, though.
Centuries ago, our world was ravaged by war. We saw our own destruction and designed this cave to ensure the survival of our species. Of all the great minds of our world, only my son and I have survived.
Well, what do you want from us? A chance to hear the first discussion?
After 50,000 years, we wish to borrow your bodies so that we may get out and stretch our legs.
Oh, and what would happen to us?
You would occupy our receptacles during our short stay in your bodies.
Oh, hey, no way. How do we know you guys even have legs?
Come on, Butch, it'll be fun. Besides, we're here to help people.
And what guarantee do we have that you won't leave us stranded in these receptacles for the next 50,000 years?
I promise. Cross my heart.
Well, we'll have to take your word for that. Okay, we'll do it.
Oh, Father, I had forgotten what it was like to breathe the air. We have been in the receptacles for far too long.
Yes, my son, far too long. I can't wait to have a cup of coffee.
Not in my body, you don't.
And I want to get a Slurpee and give myself brain freeze.
Oh, I hate brain freeze. Hey, time's up. Get back in your receptacles.
Have Butch and Lehigh been cheated out of their bodies? Could our elders baptize a receptacle? Are they waterproof, or do they float? Will Lehigh's body get its first taste of coffee? Can Butch survive a bad case of brain freeze? Tune in next time to hear Calgon say...
Well, my son, we gave our word. It is now time to surrender their bodies and return to our receptacle.
No way! I haven't even gotten to play Nintendo yet. You just want to give them back their bodies because I got the good-looking one.
Oh, how true.
On the next hip-dislocating episode of Space Elders.
All right, 9:52. Right.
Hello? It's
Hello?
Hello, it's winter.
I mean, really?
I mean, hey, I mean, come on.
I mean, really.
Although I think I'm done. I'm ready for spring. It's time.
Oh yeah, I've been for weeks.
Oh, but I know we have things that must go coming up tomorrow, and you can send them to us, radiofromhell@x96.com.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happened in my yard, Carrie? And I don't know if this has happened in your yard.
What about my yard?
I know it doesn't happen in your yard.
What?
Well, because the dogs poop all winter.
Yeah.
And some of it's buried under the snow. I mean, you try to stay on top of it, but you can't get all of it. But now we're in that time period where things are starting to melt, and there's just like gooey, hard to clean up dog poo everywhere. It's horrible.
That's why I pay a guy to do it for me.
That's what you have kids for.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard to. I mean, it's not as simple as just scooping up a pile because it's all kind of.
Like I said, the guy has the tools to do it. So
Yeah.
he cleaned it up pretty good last
So
week.
you don't do no.
No.
That's why I used to, when I had dogs, I sent them to the neighbors.
Go poop
Yeah,
over there.
That's what you do.
Yeah, I always
Because
sent
in the
them to the
winter you
neighbors.
can kind of forget it. I mean, you pick it up as you see it, but it gets. You can
No,
kind
I-
of forget about a lot.
I know
of
what
it.
you're talking about, but it when everything melted, I think it was on Thursday last week. Everything had melted, and so he was able to do a pretty good clean. And then it's,
Did you have him come all winter?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why not?
I don't know.
And why? You know,
So then I don't have your problem.
I guess that's.
and again, you have children. Why don't you send them out there in the winter to do
Well, because I don't know.
Yeah.
it? And you know, or you have a son that doesn't live with you anymore, but would like to make some extra cash.
Sure,
I'm
come
sure.
over and-
Hey, come on over, Festus. Clean up the dog poop.
Pooper scoop.
Sure, whatever you would pay Mr. You
Mr.
know,
Pooper
Mr.
Scooper?
Scooper?
Mr. Pooper Scooper.
He's not Mr. Pooper Scooper.
Oh.
Mr. Pooper Scooper got rid of his business.
So who
sold
is it now?
Sold it to somebody else, so I called somebody else.
Oh.
And I can't remember the name of it now.
Well, Mr. Pooper Scooper, that
Mr.
name
Turd
should
Taker.
somebody should take that name because that's a good name.
But you know what I did, Gina?
What?
I called him up and I said,
Hello.
Come and take my turds, please.
trying to get tea kettle Gina before we leave. But it's not working. How about this one?
Hello, handsome.
Aw.
I got some poop that needs to be placed somewhere else. He takes it to the neighbors. You just have a hole in your fence, and the dog goes over to the neighbors, and then
Yeah.
comes back.
How about this, Gina?
Hello, sailor boy.
How about this?
Her buttons are the best.
All right. Maybe not.
That's
It's Patrick
it?
Stewart.
Yeah.
Patrick
He's
Stewart.
talking about his wife, right?
Her buns are the
His
best?
girlfriend,
Yeah,
yeah.
his girlfriend or wife, whatever it was.
Was that when he was
He was high.
high? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of videos of Patrick Stewart high online.
Smoking marijuana and talking about his young girlfriend.
Good for him, right?
Sure, why not?
Shut up, he thinks he's witty.
Yeah, I'm not going to get a tea kettle before we
I'm
leave.
sorry.
am
I can't make it happen.
No.
It's either there or it's not.
Well, usually it's this.
Hello.
Every time.
It's not there.
Where is your handle anyway, and where is your spout?
Here. Well, here.
You are a little teapot.
It's right here.
Little teapot.
You tip me over and.
Yeah, there it is. Then, yeah,
Pour
there it's
me
coming
out.
out.
And I have the tea cakes to go with it today.
Yes, you do.
A delicious biscuit base topped with marshmallow and covered with real milk chocolate.
And foil.
Yeah, you got to eat part of the foil.
That's good, though. You need that as a trace mineral.
I'll pass on that. This is probably that unregulated British foil.
I ate the whole thing anyway.
Probably got lead in it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Heaven help me! What have I done?
Yeah, send us your Muscos.
Oh, this will get you.
Hey. 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 Hey.
It's not there.
It's not?
Hey.
No.
You sure?
I don't think.
No, it's not there.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
No?
No, it's
Hey.
not there. No.
Hey.
You know, if you pulled down your pants at the same time, it might do it.
No.
Well, that just frightened her. All right, let's do the promo and get out of here.
You'll notice I have the first line.
I didn't notice that.
Here we go. Ready? Sit up straight and be ready for action.
I'm ready.
On Wednesday's Radio from Hell show.
Things that must go at 6:45 and 8:45.
Email your must goes to radiofromhell@x96.com.
Also, the 3-Bit Gaming Show will be here at 7:45.
Don't miss all that, and I say here, more, on tomorrow's Radio from Hell show, right here on X96.
Hey.
All right.
Maybe tomorrow.
Okay. You're just tired is all.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Yes, and I got my Centaur and Minotaur mixed up, okay?
Let's see, the Centaur has 4 legs.
Has got a horse body, and
Get it right, Carrie.
Minotaur has either cow or horse legs, feet. Just 2. All right. Are we good?
I think so.
All business?
You bet.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
They're all gone but Jesus.
Corey is next.
Systems go. Prepare for countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off to adventure. All systems go. Prepare for countdown. 5, 4,